Right, hey there, what's going on? Right, we're back with some more Danganronpa V3. And we're smack dab in the middle of Chapter 5, I think. We haven't come across the victim yet this chapter, so I'm trying to figure out who it's gonna be, and I was thinking about it last night, and I have no fucking clue. I think it's Kibo, but then again, I think it's gonna be too simple of a, setup for that. So maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll actually be Kaito, like I originally thought it would. Right, let's go. The hammer's still charging. I don't remember where we have to go, but I think we have to go to the, whatchamacallit, hangar. What's up, Kibo? I totally wasn't just talking about you being murdered, by the way. Oh, Shuichi. We must rescue Kaito, no matter what. If we're to defeat despair and find a new hope for ourselves, I'm certain we'll need him by our side.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It was thanks to Kaito that we're all working together again.
All right.
Let's save Kaito and stop Kokichi together. This is the beginning of our new hope. Yeah, our new hope. Maybe not yours, because you might die soon. Could be Kokichi? Yeah, I think it's gonna be Kokichi as well. I think it makes the most sense for plot. That's why I figured it wouldn't be Kibo. That's why I said I was trying to think about who the murder victim would be last night. And I couldn't think exactly of who it would be. Because you can never be really sure, can you? What's up, Samugi? What are you doing?
Could it be?
Did you come out of your room because you couldn't calm down?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
I was the same. I couldn't stay still. This morning I barely had the willpower to get out of bed, all thanks to Maki.
Yeah.
I can hardly believe it. Maki, who was so tsundere in the beginning, is now the one pulling us along. But it's probably because of Kaito's influence.
Huh? Why do you think that?
Huh? Why? You can tell just by looking. Maki's interested in Kaito. Otherwise she wouldn't be watching the hangar the whole time like she is.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Huh? Are you shocked? Were you guys in some reverse love triangle situation?
No, it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't mean to shock you like that. I was just meant to mock you about Maki. I wonder, when we were at Hope's Peak Academy, did we have fun and tease each other like this?
Well, we were in different classes, but I'm sure we had friends like that.
Even if we can't go back to that time, there's still hope left in the world. I'm going to keep living with confidence till the end. That's my vow as one of the last students of Hope's Peak Academy.
Keep living, she says, in a Danganronpa game. Probably not. I can't believe Maki likes Kaito over me. I can understand why, but look at me, I'm fucking gorgeous. If I keep going, I should reach the hangar. If Kokichi's in the hangar, there's a good chance the Exisouls are patrolling nearby. Should be careful. Don't tell me I actually have to avoid these fucking things. Huh?
Huh?
Monokuma? This is the first time I've seen him in a while. Are the Exisouls protecting him? Well, clearly. But why now? And why all four of them? Kokichi's controlling them, right? So why would he do that? But there's 5 Exisouls, not 4. There were 5 cubs, so where's the last one? Wait, if the Exisouls are here, they aren't guarding the hangar. This is my chance. Should hurry, but carefully, I don't want to draw attention. Well, they can't see over here, can they? Or can they? No, they can't. Okay. Oh, but the alarm. Shit. Yeah, the barricade is up, which means the alarm's gonna go off if we go over here. Shit. The alarm is enabled. The electric barrier's up too. I can't get close to the shutter. And I only saw 4 Exisouls, so I don't know where the other one is. Perhaps inside the hangar? That's what I said. There was one missing. Hopefully I can find a good spot to survey the scene. If I remember correctly, there's a bathroom with a small window there. I knew that window would come into fucking play! I knew it would! I said so earlier when I was in the bathroom, and I was like, this window is just nothing, I guess? There's a window. The bathroom window? Can I see inside from there? Peeked into the small window, and saw a silhouette on the other side. Is this gonna be the victim?
What are you doing here?
Kaito!
Don't shout, stupid! Kokichi will hear us!
Is he close by?
No, I'm locked up in this bathroom, but Kokichi's just outside that door. It'll be bad news if he sees you here. He's got the Exisouls with him.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, so what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Saving you, of course.
What? By yourself?
No, I'm just scouting the place. Tomorrow morning, we're all coming to rescue you.
All of you?
It was Maki's idea. Honestly, I had given up. We had all given up.
Yeah, well, they did just learn the world is destroyed and their only reason to live is annihilated,
She did
so...
everything she could to get you back. It's because she believes in you, Kaito.
Yeah, that's definitely it. She totally doesn't want his orbiting space dick at all. Nope,
She
not
knows
at all.
that you would never give up, no matter how bad things got.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, of course. I'm Kaito Momota, Luminary of the Stars.
If Kokichi's just outside the door, you might want to not go belting your catchphrase all over the place.
Even if the world has ended and humanity has
Just
gone
a thought.
extinct, I can't give up. It'd be a crappy story if the hero gave up so easily.
Yeah, that's right, Kaito.
Don't you worry. I'll do something about all this. That's a promise.
Uh-huh, while you're locked in the bathroom.
All you
Okay.
guys are working so hard, so I can't just sit back and relax.
That was a very weird line. Like, why did he say relax like that? Like, X cut off very sharply for whatever reason. There's something I want to ask him. I don't care if he's overconfident or acting. I just want to hear him say, don't worry, it'll be okay.
It's just... I'm happy you guys want to save me, but stay safe, okay? Getting close to an Exisol is dangerous, even if you've got an electro hammer.
Got it.
What if we have one of those little, balls? One of those little pink balls?
By the way,
The bombs.
are you
The
feeling
electro
okay?
bombs, or whatever the fuck they're
Apart from
called.
the injury, obviously.
Who, me? Yeah, of course. It's nothing.
Uh-huh, it's nothing, he says.
Anyway, Kokichi
Life-threatening
should be back
illness.
soon,
It's
so
nothing.
we better end our chat.
Ah, okay, sure.
Let me guess, the Exisouls are gonna spot me
And
on the
hey,
way out?
Kaito, about what happened with Gonta.
Shuichi, I leave the rest to you.
What?
While I'm gone, you gotta support everyone. Especially Maki Rule. She can be reckless sometimes.
Now, is he phrasing that like I'm gonna be gone, like as in dead soon, or does he mean like while I'm gone as in while I'm locked in this bathroom?
Yeah.
You're an impressive detective.
So that
through
might
and
have
through.
double meaning to it.
You might not only reach the truth, but something even beyond it. And don't forget, you're not alone.
But I am.
Don't try to do
There's
everything
nobody else
yourself.
here. I'm risking
It's
my
only
own
very
life
out.
right now. Idiot.
When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Except for when you're locked in a bathroom and you can't. Rely on your friends. That's it. That's what I've been neglecting.
I believe in you. So I'm leaving the rest to you for now. You got it, Shuichi?
Kaito, thank you. Thank you for being my friend.
Yes, I understand.
Alright, now get going before Kokichi comes back.
It's probably a good idea.
You're right. See you tomorrow, Kaito.
Seeing as how Shuichi is really recognizable from a long distance, maybe he should have dressed up as another character or something by stealing one of their outfits or something. I would have done that. After leaving Kaito with a smile, I returned to my room. There's no point in wandering around. I should stay in my room and relax. We could have free time and go, chat with some people while Kaito is in life-threatening danger. Could do that. Tried to get myself into the right mindset for the final battle. While I was meditating on it, ding dong, maybe. It became nighttime before I knew it. Oh, I see. Monokuma still isn't here. I don't believe Kokichi is the mastermind. I think he's pulling everybody's fucking plunker with that. We go at dawn. I won't hesitate anymore. Kaito's taught me.
All right.
I have to do it, to live, to find a reason to live. I will fight. I spent that night with that thought nestled deep into my heart. Okay. Ooh, yay. Another one of these. I love these.
Don't panic, just stay calm and listen. Well, if you're watching this Monokuma Theater segment, it's already too late. You kids might not know, but to a 100% cotton mascot like me, hope is, well, the thought of seeing young people brimming with hope killing each other just to survive. Watching their hope fade away, there's nothing more despair-inducing than that. My dear students, carrying humanity's hope, betraying, deceiving, and killing each other, makes me, oh so sad. Oh how I long to see everyone's despairing faces soaked in blood and tears. I've gone and done it.
Huh. Kokichi's gonna die at some point. Yeah, I think so too. I thought so since the beginning. He's not the type to murder someone. He's the type to, be mischievous and get killed. That's what I thought. Said it since the beginning, I'm pretty sure. After that empty announcement from Monokuma, I jumped out of bed.
All right.
Alright, here we go. First to the dining hall. I grabbed the charged electro hammer and ran out of my room. Oh, he's gonna do it for me. I was actually gonna walk over very slowly and pick up the hammer and then walk slowly to the door just to make what he said incorrect, just to be funny. But nah, he had to be a prick and fucking skip the scene for me so I didn't get to be funny. Asshole. Backseating Shuichi. Prick. Right, to the dining hall we go then. I'm guessing we can't go anywhere else, so I'm just gonna go straight there. This game has progressed story-wise very weird, like in a very strange direction. How's it going, chicken? By the way, I forgot to say hello. I'm sorry about that. Usually I'm better about that kind of shit. Sorry about that.
We're all here.
Everyone!
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Of course, my electro hammer is all recharged.
At that moment, I realized one of us didn't have their electro hammer. Yeah, Maki. Maki, where's your electro hammer?
Nope.
I don't need it. I'd rather not use a weapon I'm unfamiliar with.
Okay.
This is much better. A knife? Well, I suppose you know best.
Hey!
Then we're off.
Hey!
Ah, before that, there's something I want to say. I scouted at the hangar yesterday. Maybe Kokichi will dress Kaito up in a specific way, and then Maki will mistake Kaito for Kokichi and kill Kaito with the knife accidentally.
Huh?
Scouted out the hangar.
Okay.
Yes, and I discovered that Kaito was trapped in the hangar's bathroom.
I see.
The bathroom, I see. That certainly is the best place to lock someone up.
If I remember correctly...
And I also saw Monokuma by the hangar being protected by 4 exosouls.
Is that alright?
So we have to be careful that we aren't spotted. Oh, I saw that too.
Huh?
What? You saw that? Were you at the hangar too, Kibo?
Yes.
Yes, I thought maybe I could get through to Kokichi before we carry out our plan. So I went to the hangar last night and tried to talk to him.
What?
You tried to talk to him? On your own?
Well...
I'm sorry, I thought it'd be preferable for him to release Kaito peacefully.
Hey!
How'd it go?
As I thought.
Went about as well as I expected. There was no response at all. But I did witness a few things.
What? What did you witness?
Well...
We can discuss that later. For now, I'll share what I saw that's relevant to our plan.
For now...
No, you might as well tell us everything, because it could be involved in a murder, maybe. Shuichi saw 4 exosouls that appeared to be guarding Monokuma. Well, I saw one of them enter the hangar.
No.
Just one?
Yes.
Yes, the green exosoul.
If I remember correctly...
The green one. I'm sure I saw that one guarding Monokuma. I made sure to stay out of sight while I watched. Neither the alarm system nor the electric barrier reacted to the exosoul's presence.
Could it be?
Does that mean the alarm system and the electric barrier don't work on the exosouls?
That's right.
Considering it's where the exosouls are stored, that would appear to be a safe assumption. Anyway, there are 2 exosouls in the hangar. We should be careful. We only have one chance.
Okay.
Since this is our only electro bomb, we can't afford to miss.
You're right.
That's exactly right.
Well then, we're off to real this time.
Everyone!
Let's go. We must end this killing game once and for all, no matter what. Alright. Let's head off, shall we? Energized and motivated, the group rushed out of the dining hall, one after the other. Alright, here I go. Especially Kibo, he's definitely energized because he's a robot, right? Oh, do we have to run from the exosouls on the way there? Is that what we're gonna have to do? Or is this just music? Never mind, I think this is just music. Yeah, it is. There would have been exosouls here or some shit if we had to run. Because I think this is the same music that they played in the beginning of the game, when we first ran into them. I'm definitely gonna give this game a second playthrough just to do all the voice acting again. I love it so much. It's so much fun. Also, I have to get into the habit of voice acting so I can actually, like, read shit correctly instead of fucking up my words. Which is kinda hard, because you're trying to focus on the story and the dialogue at the same time. It's a little bit weird. Everyone must have gone to the hangar already. I shouldn't be late. Wait, where are the exosouls? Huh? Monokuma's not here. He should have been protected by the exosouls. And the exosouls... They don't look like they're going to move. What's going on? And there are only 3 of them. There should be 2 more in the
That's
hangar.
true.
It's just like Kibo said, we should consider ourselves lucky that there's only 2. If all 5 of them are here, it'd be impossible to execute
Alright.
the plan. Alright, let's keep moving. I think we're gonna come across the murder victim very, very shortly, so, buckle up. Okay, everybody's over here. That's what the yellow dots on the map are. Let me check inside this window one more time to see if we can. It's dangerous to call for Kaito now. This will all be for naught if Kokichi finds us. I see. So if Kaito's not there, maybe he's dead.
Well then.
And that's why I can't talk to Kaito, and they're giving me a reason for that. Everyone is here. Let's get started right away. Hey, what's up, Week? How's it going? Here, but on a walk with Freya? Cool, hopefully you two enjoy yourselves.
I'm ready.
Are you okay?
Maki, are you ready with the Electro Bomb?
Hey,
Who do you think you're talking to? It's similar to a grenade, except the detonation lags a bit after you push the switch. Once we roll this to the front of the shutter, it should disable the alarm
that's
system.
obvious.
This won't fail. The Electro Bomb has an effective range of 50 yards and lasts for 2 hours. Kokichi's remote control is disabled. We'll stand a chance against the Exosols.
All right.
Let's stop Kokichi before he gets into the Exosol. But be ready for the worst. We might have to use the Electro Hammers. If he gets into that Exosol, I'll stop him with this hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the matter?
What's wrong, Maki? Well, we're all ready to start, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, alright. Then let's go. Right, buckle up. Maki triggered the Electro Bomb, then it rolled in front of the shutter. And then... I was gonna say it was a dud or something, because Kokichi knew she'd do that.
100%.
The alarm system is disabled, now we can approach the control panel.
Shuichi!
Shuichi, will you do the honors?
Leave it to me.
Alright, leave it to me. Right, let's go to the control panel then.
All right.
Alright, if I hit the control panel with this. As I swung up the electro hammer, I suddenly noticed. Huh? It's destroyed. The control panel was covered in marks, as if damaged by something sharp. It's gotta be the knife that Maki had. If I had to guess. Shuichi, what are you doing? Hurry up.
Okay.
Sorry, I've got it. Yeah, why would it be damaged by knife scratches unless Maki fucked with it? With the knife, maybe. No time to think now. I aimed my swing at the control panel and brought it down as hard as I could. What's the point of scratching up the numerical pad, though, so you couldn't see the numbers? I have no idea.
The electric barrier turned off.
Everyone!
Let's go! We all ran to the shutter at once. Except for Maki, who could potentially be a murderer here.
We won't let Kokichi do whatever he wants anymore. You better be ready, this is it.
All right!
The remnants of despair end here and now. Because if somebody's gonna die here, there also has to be a murderer as well, so think about that. After opening the shutter, we burst into the hangar, electro hammers in hand, and saw a dead body, maybe? To end this. To end this killing game. To end this despair. Uh-huh. Yep, dead body. Dead body reveal. Kaito? Or is it Kokichi? Oh, it's somebody already crushed in the thing. That's Kaito's jacket, dude. That's Kaito's jacket, definitely. I was right. Kaito was going to die. I knew it.
What?
I called it, dude. I said so. I fucking said so, dude. I said so. I fucking said so. What did I say? What did I say, man?
A body has been discovered. Everyone, please gather at the Exosol hangar.
I fucking knew it, man. I fucking knew it.
The killing game just keeps going.
Kokichi can't be the mastermind. I called it.
The despair's not over yet.
Or maybe he still is, and he just killed Kaito because he knew people would come try and rescue him. I fucking knew it, dude. I told you. I said so. I knew Kaito was gonna die. Oh, this music. This music is baller.
going
I
on?
love this tune. This is in the other ones as well. Chaos and madness. Confusion and turmoil. I couldn't stay calm. I couldn't keep it in. There was too much despair. Dude, I fucking said so, man!
What? Is that blood?
It can't be.
The body discovery announcement. Does that mean someone's in that press?
What?
Who? The only ones in the hangar were Kokichi and Kaito. It must be one of them.
Huh?
What? Either Kokichi or Kaito is dead? Oh, look! Maybe it's Kokichi dressed in Kaito's jacket. And maybe Maki did kill Kokichi, but just dressed him up in Kaito's coat and Kaito's fine. Because there were marks on the outside on the pad. That would make sense, I think. Those clothes! Yeah, it's Kaito's jacket, like I said, man. It's Kaito's jacket. They're Kaito's!
What did you say?
Then the one in that hydraulic press is...
No, it's not possible. Oh, but it is.
Looks like you have a lot of twists and turns to sort out during the class trial. That's what the killing game's about, after all!
Now then,
And so, I will now pass out the Monokuma file.
that's
Don't say you're getting bored of this, cause things are about to get interesting.
now then.
I hope you pour your heart out and soul into this investigation, too.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Danganronpa just keeps going, dude. It doesn't stop.
Hold on! We have to investigate, so the killing game is going to continue?
The killing game will continue? If the killing game is continuing and Monokuma is still moving, then...
That's right.
It means the mastermind Kokichi is still alive.
Ah!
What was that?
Kokichi is still alive, then that means the one dead over there is... Kaito!
That's wrong.
No, that's not possible. There has to be some mistake. There's no way Kaito could die. It has to be a lie. Or does it? I made a run for the body when... Calm down. Maki's hand stopped me.
Huh?
Calm down? How can you say that, Maki? Kaito is... I've seen so much death already. Death of both good and bad people. It doesn't bother me anymore.
Wait!
It doesn't bother you? What are you talking about?
Shut up.
More importantly, where's Kokichi?
Why?
That's right. I don't see him anywhere. He should be somewhere in this hangar.
He ran away. We need to catch him immediately. He's obviously the culprit.
I don't think that's the case. I think it's somebody else entirely. Let's split up and look for him. Leave no stone unturned.
Why you?
No matter how good at hide and seek he is, we can't let him get away this.
No.
Wait. We can't leave yet.
Okay.
We don't know for certain if that dead body is Kaito. We haven't explored all the possibilities yet. If it's not Kaito, then who's dead in there? Are you saying it's Kokichi? Then why is the killing game still continuing? Because maybe he's not the mastermind at all, like I thought. Maybe.
Why?
And if Kaito is alive, why hasn't he shown himself yet?
Are you saying he's hiding because he's the culprit?
No, I don't think that's it either.
Don't say such a stupid thing. Kaito being the culprit is even more impossible than him being dead.
That's impossible.
I don't think Kaito could have killed Kokichi in the first place. He was wounded, remember?
Actually,
And his opponent, the mastermind of the killing game, could control the access cells at will. How could Kaito have killed someone like that when he was sick and wounded?
That's why I'm thinking Maki
No.
did it, and he's just dressed in Kaito's jacket or something. I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible. Or Maki killed Kaito, and that's actually Kaito in the press, and Maki killed him herself. Maybe as a mercy kill because she knew he was suffering or something because of his illness or something like that. And she's trying to frame it on Kokichi to get him killed or something. Ah, and even if it is Kokichi that was killed, that doesn't mean Kaito is the culprit.
But how?
So does that mean the culprit is one of us?
stop it.
That's what I think.
Wait, that's impossible.
Right.
No, it was Maki's plan to rescue Kaito. She had the knife. She could have hit the panel outside and scratched it up like fuck. I definitely think it's a possibility.
No matter how shocking Kaito's death is, saying we're suspects is going too far.
How's it going, Elijah? Welcome back, buddy. It's good to see you. I understand what they mean. The initial evidence suggests Kaito is dead, but I just can't believe that. Or perhaps I don't want to believe it. I can't believe Kaito is dead. Let's investigate. We need to find the truth here, with our own hands, and reveal that truth in the trial.
Don't tell me.
So you want to continue the killing game?
Because...
A class trial will be held either way. We should investigate. I don't know if we'll find hope or despair, but we have to find the truth. It all starts there. You're an impressive detective through and through. You might not only reach the truth, but something even beyond it. That's right, I have to do this. To keep my promise to Kaito.
I understand.
You're right, if the class trial is going to happen anyway, then we should investigate. Also, what's up, Gator? I forgot to say hello to you as well. I'm very sorry about that. I'm really immersed.
But we already know the answer.
But do we?
But we can't die here. We decided to live for hope.
Thank you, Elijah, you fucking gorgeous bitch, for gifting a sub to Jake. Welcome back, Jake. How's it going?
But
My main concern is how Kokichi will react. Thank you, Elijah, seriously. If we accuse him of being the culprit...
If he just plays dumb and runs away, there'll be nothing we can do.
Tired as heck, so you're gonna go to sleep and you're gonna leave me off with a sub gift? Thank you very much, dude. Have a good sleep. See you soon. Thank you for stopping in as well.
No, I don't think so. Junko and Ashima cherish the killing game rules. So if the remnants of despair worshipped her, I don't think they'd ignore those.
Yeah, get some good rest, dude. Thank you so much.
Then, it'll be easy to deal with him.
We just need to vote for him in the class trial.
That's true.
Maybe Maki knows that we want to die even though we have hope or something. And she figured that'd be a good way to get Kokichi out of the picture and take her revenge for him being a piece of shit. So she used Kaito as a vice to do that and enact that plan. And she formulated this rescue plan to go rescue Kaito as a cover for it. And it actually is Kaito under the press, but Kokichi had nothing to do with it. And she's just trying to get rid of Kokichi, and she did it herself and killed Kaito. I understand the others, but why Maki? You love the emotes? I'm glad you do, dude. I made them all myself, so I hope you enjoy them. Except S. S I didn't make. S was all BB Mercy. Why is she accepting Kaito's death so easily?
well then.
Well, because she's rational. Well then, let's review the Monokuma file. Is that okay with you, Shuichi?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy the emotes, fellas. The body was discovered in the Exisol hangar, but we don't know who it is, because there's no way of possibly telling. That's why I said, maybe the compress would destroy evidence or something, because you wouldn't be able to tell who was crushed underneath it, right? And I also figured maybe somebody else was going to die in the press. That's why I figured it wouldn't be Kibo, and I said that was too simple. Because if he was crushed in the press, there would just be robot parts all over the place, and we'd know Kibo died, right? Which could have still been a possibility. But like I said, I figured that was too simple. That's why I was like, nah, I think a human's gonna die in that press. Makes the most sense. The body was discovered in the Exisol hangar. The victim was crushed by the hydraulic press and is unidentifiable. Well, we'll know in time if it's Kaito or not, won't we? Monokuma File 5 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your monopad. Or maybe Kaito killed Kokichi and hid him in his jacket. And it's actually Kokichi in the press. And somebody else is the mastermind and not Kokichi at all, like I thought. That's the only other way I could see this working. So, I'm guessing either it's Maki, and it's actually Kaito in there. If Kaito's in there, I think it's Maki. If Kokichi's in there, I think it's Kaito. Monokuma File 5 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your monopad. Although Kibo did say he was here last night. But I don't think Kibo would lie. Because he hasn't lied to us ever, so I don't think that would be sensible.
That's it? That doesn't tell us anything.
The identity of the victim is unknown. Doesn't even tell us that much.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. We already know who the victim and the culprit are. No, we don't, Maki. You're just jumping to conclusions.
Decided.
Thank you for the host, Rosie. God damn, that alert scares the shit out of me every time, because I can't turn it down. So every time it happens, I literally jump a little bit. The culprit who killed Kaito is definitely Kokichi.
No.
But we don't know it's Kaito. Wait, Maki, it's still too early to decide that. It's true that the evidence points to Kokichi being alive, but Kaito told me. No, it's not your fault. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry. I'll do something about all this. That's a promise. Oh, you guys are working so hard, so I can't just sit back and relax. Or maybe Kaito got the upper hand on Kokichi and killed Kokichi, and it's actually Kokichi in the press, and not Kaito at all. And Kaito is going to take the fall for killing Kokichi, but the mastermind isn't actually Kokichi, but they were all under the impression that it was. And like I said, the mastermind is somebody else entirely, and the killing game is going to continue, and Kaito would have sacrificed himself to get rid of Kokichi, and Kaito's gonna be the fucking murderer. That makes sense as well. Well, you guys are working so hard, so I can't just sit back and relax. Maybe this is Kaito's way of saving us. I want to believe in that promise Kaito made. I want you to believe in that with me.
Stop it.
I refuse to investigate with you.
Huh?
Huh? What? Why?
You don't know?
You're not calm at the moment. Right now you're acting like Kaito, back in Gonto's class trial. It was like this at that time too, wasn't it? You can't fight despair with just belief. It's not that simple. Maki turned her back to me and left. Maki. So either Maki's is being, like, incredibly reasonable, or she's trying to avoid suspicion or something by fucking off. There's something about the air in here that's making me feel off. I don't know if the electro bomb is to blame or if I'm malfunctioning somehow. But I'm starting to feel somewhat sick.
What?
I don't feel weird at all.
Then...
It's gotta be because of the electro bomb. Kibo's an electronic appliance, after all.
It's not a washing machine, asshole. Don't call me an appliance.
Okay.
I'm telling you, appliances should go rest outside.
Really, I'm fine, but I suppose I'll go investigate outside for now. But the exosols were there, right? But we don't know if they're functional or not. Maybe that has something to do with it. Kibo left the hangar, swaying side to side a bit.
Then I think I'll start investigating too. Oh, will you be okay by yourself? I could go with you if you want.
No.
No, you don't have to worry. I'll be fine by myself. If the body's like that, then we don't have to worry about anyone messing with it. So it should be fine for us all to investigate by ourselves.
That's very reasonable. Unless Maki's altering evidence somehow by going off on her own. But that would implicate her in the murder, right? Himiko left in a hurry. In a hurry, eh? Interesting.
Could it be?
I wonder if Himiko suspects...
Huh?
Suspects who?
everyone. Because if there's fewer of us, there's fewer people who could be the culprit, right? Of course, it's obviously Kokichi, but like you said, there could be another possibility.
I don't think it's Kokichi. I think Kokichi is in the press. That's what I think.
Maybe that's what she's thinking?
I did suggest that possibility. The culprit might not be Kokichi or Kaito, but a third party. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Anyone could be the culprit. Yeah, see? I should be a detective, dude. Seriously, I have the exact mindset for one. I've been Shuichi this entire fucking game, except for in the class trials when I fuck up super horribly. Which we're not gonna regard, right? We're gonna forget about all that, right? Exactly.
We were united toward hope before all this, but now we're split up.
Could it be?
Could it be that's why Kokichi killed Kaito?
No, I don't think he killed Kaito at all. I think Kokichi was dead set on keeping Kaito locked up until Kaito calmed down. And that was his only goal. To disrupt our harmony.
Because if not, then what reason would he have to kill Kaito? Maybe that's what this class trial is going to be for, too.
What's up, D? How's it going?
The reason Kokichi's going to hold this class trial might be to separate us.
How is Anthem, my dude? To separate
Like
us.
I thought.
Here to show some love, man. I can't hear anything, but I'm totally here. Alright.
In the end, we were all gathered around Kaito. He was the one keeping us together. That's why he killed Kaito, then we're completely caught in his trap.
This is all part of Kokichi's plan to separate us? This is exactly what he wanted. We're split up. I can't get anyone to cooperate with the investigation. And we don't have much information to go on. The Monokuma file has been some help, but it's not enough this time. No point in standing around complaining. I just have to do it. Time to start. To solve this mystery and find the truth behind it. I'm going to begin the investigation. Right, so it could be Kaito under that press, and it could be Kokichi. We've already established that it can't be Samugi, it can't be Himiko, can't be Kibo, can't be Maki. It could only be Kaito or Kokichi. I think it's Kokichi. That's my best guess. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, 2 more seconds. sorry about that. D said he had no audio, so I wanted to type out a message for him. Alright, I'm going to inspect every single piece of evidence here. I think it's Kokichi in that fucking press, dude. I really do. I honestly do. Although it did say the press would stop if there was a living being in it, so how did the press keep going? Unless the panel up there is damaged somehow. But if the panel was damaged, how would the press stop? Or how would you activate the press in the first place if it's damaged? Or maybe the button was pushed and then the panel was broken as the thing was coming down. But that would mean that the victim had to have either been tied up or knocked out or something. Because they would have gotten out of the way, right? Unless Kaito was too ill to move and it actually is Kaito in there. The hydraulic press is down and there's blood in the area. This hydraulic press is controlled by these buttons. If we use this to lift up the hydraulic press, we should be able to check the body. I don't really want to do that, though. Alright, well, let's go do as Shuichi said, and see if we can lift up the thing, but I have a feeling it's totally not damaged at all. Why would that be the case? Maybe one of the electro bombs was used in the murder somehow, but that would deactivate all the machinery, right? So if it would deactivate the machinery, and the control panel isn't damaged, maybe the panel was... Okay, let me get this thought straight. So maybe the press was coming down, and then an electro bomb was thrown near it, and it disengaged the panel, so the panel wouldn't operate, and that's why the panel isn't damaged. But that's why the body is still crushed in the press. Maybe that makes sense. These controls move the hydraulic press. It can go up, down, and stop. I should be able to use the up button to raise the press and check the body. I don't want to see a crushed body, no matter who it is, but I have to do it.
Alright.
I have to know. I made up my mind, took a breath, and pressed the button. Huh? It's not moving? I pressed the button a few more times, but the press still wouldn't move. Ah, so I think that cements my thought that an electro bomb or something, maybe one of the hammers was used. Maki didn't have her goddamn hammer! Why would she not have the hammer as a backup just in case, unless hers wasn't charged? Maki fucking did it, dude, I think. So, press the button on the press and then hit the press with the hammer, and that's why the panel isn't damaged at all, but it's malfunctioning or something. There's a 2-hour window to pull it off, but we don't know what time the body was crushed in the press, so we can't narrow it down that way. I think that thought makes sense. At first I thought it was an electro bomb, but now that I compare the hammer and the bomb, and Maki not having the hammer available when we came to rescue Kaito, which she should have had prepared, and there's no reason she shouldn't have had it prepared, I think that makes absolute sense. We've already established that the hammers were in each of our rooms. Nobody else has the key to Maki's room besides Maki. So either Kaito stole the key to Maki's room and is trying to frame Maki, which I don't think is the case, or Maki did it herself. And it is Kaito under there. But if that's the case and Maki did it, I can't imagine whether it matters whether it was Kokichi or Kaito. I still think I'm right about Kokichi not being the mastermind though, but this is supposed to make you think that he still is. And that's why it's set up the way it is. I pressed the button a few more times, but the press still wouldn't move. Strange, it moved when I pressed it last time. After looking around the press, I found, yeah, but we were here last night, not this morning. The power cord is cut. Ah, the power cord is cut. Okay. Maybe the hammer wasn't used on the panel. I see, there's no power, so the hydraulic press wouldn't move. Ah, but maybe the electro hammer was used, and then the cord was cut, so we wouldn't be able to fuck with the panel at all to be able to raise it. So maybe I'm still correct about the hammer. I think that makes sense, right? So let me get this straight. The person pushed the button on the panel, crushed the person inside, used the hammer to deactivate the panel, but we've already established that the panel would only, or the machinery around either the hammer, whether it was directly hit or the electro bomb went off, would only be short-circuited or whatever, electromagnetic frequencied out for a certain amount of time, like a 2-hour window, I think it said. So I think it makes sense to say that this panel was fucked with in both ways. And that's why the cord is cut, so we can't raise the panel to check the body at all. And that would explain the use of the hammer. That would also explain why the cord's cut. This can't be coincidence. The power cord was cut on purpose. And what would it have been cut with? A knife, perhaps? Kaito wouldn't have had any weapons in here, would he? Kokichi would have had weapons, but I don't think Kokichi did this. I think that'd be too simple of a plot. I honestly think Maki did it. That's my best guess right now. This must be the work of the culprit. Hydraulic press has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. If you think this through logically with all the information I just gave, what conclusion would you guys come to? Just curious. I think I'm right about this already. In that case, we won't be able to check the body. Exactly. I'm honestly a little relieved, but I shouldn't say that out loud. I should take another look at the controls. There must be some clue here. Yeah, because if we could lift the press, we could maybe somehow establish whose body it was, depending on the rest of the clothing in the press, right? But if it's just the jacket, maybe that's just supposed to lead us to believe that it is Kaito, but it isn't actually. Or maybe it still is. Like I said, maybe Maki killed Kaito herself. In addition to the control buttons, there's an emergency stop button. The press would have been stopped instantly if you used this. Well, if the culprit were planning this murder, they'd have no use for it. What concerns me more is the safety function. This hydraulic press uses an infrared sensor. Let me look up and see what infrared means, because honestly, I'm going to be completely straight with you people. I can't remember what it means, but I've heard the word before. Infrared, of electromagnetic radiation, having a wavelength just greater than that of the red end of a visible light spectrum, but less than that of microwaves. Infrared radiation has a wavelength from about 800 nanometers to 1 millimeter and is emitted particularly by heated objects. I have no idea what to make out of that. That's right, this hydraulic press should have a safety function. If the infrared sensor detects a living thing, the press stops automatically. Oh, so that must be to do with like blood and body heat or something like that, and that's why it only affects living people instead of machines. That would make sense. Well, it didn't stop when Kibo tried before. Yeah, because Kibo doesn't have blood, he's not a person. Sorry, Kibo. You are a person to me, buddy. If the sensor detected a person, the safety should have stopped the press automatically. Stop automatically, huh? So, there's one of two circumstances. Well, there's actually one circumstance. We've already established there is a person in there. Definitely, it was a person. So it's either Kaito or Kokichi, but we don't know which, because that'd be too simple. So actually it is Kaito, or it actually is Kokichi. I've given my thoughts on both scenarios of whoever it is, and what I think my thought process is for that. So if it's Kokichi, I think Kaito did it. If it's actually Kaito in there, I think Maki did it. Stop automatically, huh? Safety function has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. This class trial is going to be a fucking piss take, by the way. I'm going to fuck it up really bad. I always fuck up the class trials. Let's check out the painting machine. Looks like a machine used to paint exosols. It smells kinda like paint thinner. Looks the same as before, probably not related to the case. Then why did I have to examine it if it's not related to the case and it's not a truth bullet? Because when I was in here last time... Also, this panel is damaged from the outside, not the inside. Why would that be? Because if the person wanted to fuck with this, they could have done both panels. It's a panel that controls the alarm system and electric barrier. I don't see any reason to turn them back on, though. Ah, but you know what? Maybe if Maki came here at night, she reset the panel, because I remember Monokuma saying the panel on the outside can only be reset from the inside, or something like that. So I think that would support me thinking it's Maki. But if that's the case, this must be Kaito. Kokichi would be able to get out of here however the fuck he wanted. He's Kokichi. If he claims to be the mastermind, he's got to be mischievous enough to know an alternate route out of here or some shit. So, this must be Kaito. Because if this wasn't Kaito under here and this was actually Kokichi, why would this panel be reset? How would Kaito get out of here? Unless Kaito reactivated the barrier and then went outside of the barrier and didn't have any reason to come back in here. But maybe we can check if Kaito's in the restroom or not, but then again, that'd be too simple. Because if we already established who the victim was in here, there'd be no reason to make this as convoluted as it is. So I don't think there's any way that we could possibly tell who's under this press in any circumstance or anything. There's also a blood trail. Why would that be the case? What is this? A bloodstain? Maybe Maki injured Kaito and then drug him to the compress, and then Kaito wasn't able to move out of the compress due to his injuries. I think Maki did it, dude. I think Maki did it. She insisted on bringing the knife with her. Why would that be? As an excuse to not have the electro hammer with her, right? So nobody would suspect anything, but I already have. Why would she not have the electro hammer charged and ready to go unless she used it? And she purposely didn't bring it with her because it wasn't charged. But what reason would she have had to use the electro hammer before going to rescue Kaito? I think I'm right about this, dude. I think it's Maki, dude. Honestly, I really do. What is this? A bloodstain? There's a faint trail of blood leading to the press, a swipe pattern as if dragged. Yeah, that would explain it. Maki wouldn't be able to lift Kaito. Kaito would be fucking heavy as shit. She would have to drag him. Looks as if it's coming from the bathroom. This bloodstain suggests something was dragged from the bathroom to the press. See, that's what I thought. I thought either it was dragged from the press to the bathroom, but that wouldn't make any sense, because then the victim of the press would be in the bathroom, right? If you were to think about it that way. So I'm guessing the victim was injured in the bathroom and then dragged to the press. So if the victim was injured in the bathroom and dragged to the press, I don't imagine why the person would have to lock Kokichi in the bathroom to be able to injure him and get him into the press. That wouldn't make any sense. So this victim has to be Kaito. It has to be. That's the only sensible conclusion I can come to. It has to be Kaito. Swipe pattern bloodstain has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. I think Maki did it, motherfuckers. I think Maki did it. I think she betrayed our boy and killed him. But why? To try and frame Kokichi and maybe save all of us. But if we got the murderer wrong, we'd all die, right? And if Maki killed Kaito to get rid of Kokichi, why wouldn't Maki just kill Kokichi? Directly. I don't understand. Swipe pattern bloodstain has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. At least I don't understand it yet. Also, why the green exisol in particular? There has to be a reason for that. If I'm wrong, I take a topless pic and post it on Discord? Maybe. Maybe for you, chicken, maybe. There's an exisol right in the middle of the hangar. Why is it the green one particularly, though? I suppose it could be any of them, but why the green one specifically? I'm curious about that. Also, what's the other exisol doing in here? Why is it here? How is the exisol involved? Unless the alarm was set and Maki figured out that the exisols aren't correlated to the hangar, like the sensor wouldn't go off if an exisol was used, so she had to use an exisol to do it. The hatch is open as well, the cockpit is exposed. So this is how it looks on the inside, huh? It's small, but big enough for one person. So if it's big enough for a person, maybe Maki used it to get past the fucking barrier. Because Kokichi obviously would have set up the barrier so nobody could rescue Kaito, right? So maybe Maki used the exisol somehow to get through the barrier, to get into here, to kill Kaito, bring him to the press. That explains the bloodstain, because she injured him to get him over to the press and not allow him to be able to move himself off of it. I think that makes sense. Kaito was in the bathroom, we've already established that. If she wanted to kill Kokichi, she wouldn't have had to go to the bathroom, but she knew Kaito was in the bathroom, she knew that. Her electro hammer was not charged, if I go off that line of thinking, and that's why she didn't bring it with her earlier, and that's why she had the knife as an excuse to throw people off the electro hammer idea.
Huh? The hatch is open? How strange. Only the Monocubs can turn off the electronic lock and open the hatch.
Huh?
Only the Monocubs can open the hatch?
Yeah.
Normally, the Monocubs are the only ones who can pilot the exocells.
Well.
Normally being the key word. But because of that electro hammer thingy, the electronic lock is all screwed up.
Have you mentioned this to anyone else? Wait, the electronic lock on the exisol is all screwed up? But we've already established Maki had a grenade and a hammer to use. So maybe she used the hammer on one thing, and then used the grenade on another. So maybe Maki said she just stole one grenade from Kokichi, because she used one to throw off the barrier, right, outside? But maybe she actually stole two, and not just one.
Nope, no one's asked me about it either. And even if I had been asked, I wouldn't it would have been irrelevant information to you anyway.
I think Maki actually took 2 grenades. An electronic lock on the hatch that only the Monocubs can disable. Which must be why only the Monocubs can control the Exosols. But if you could disable the lock, you could control the Exosol. Wait, hold on, let me think this through. I might be stupid here for a minute, but I'm trying to figure out, maybe, like, we already established the grenades have a 200 whatever radius, right? So maybe when she threw the grenade, it hit the Exosol and disengaged the lock, and that's why it's particularly the green Exosol. So maybe it disengaged the green Exosol and the fucking gate at the same time. But how would the Exosol be in here already? Unless she used the green Exosol last night. Dude, I think I got it. I think she used the hammer on the Exosol last night, used the Exosol to get into the hangar, left the Exosol in the hangar. That would explain the hatch being open. And she used the grenade on both the press and the barricade outside at the same time. But she made it look like she threw the grenade to get rid of the barricade. But that would explain... That was just to cover her to get them inside, so that would make sense. But she had already been in here before. I think I've cracked it, dude. I think I got this. I think Maki used the hammer on the green Exosol outside, brought the Exosol into the fucking hangar, and then threw the grenade to deactivate the press when she threw the grenade to get rid of the fucking barricade. I think that's it, dude. Because they would have had no way of getting in here if the barrier was re-engaged. And she re-engaged the barrier from the inside after she fucking took care of Kaito and did all this. So she crushed him in the press last night, so he's been dead since last night. I think we can establish that. And then she disengaged both the press and the barricade outside by throwing the grenade at the same time to give herself a cover. I think that's fucking it, dude. I think I've cracked it, man. I think I got it. Thank you very much, Jeremiah. Thank you for being here as well. I've never played this one blind. I mean, until now. I've played the other two, and I've seen all the other two. I haven't played them, but I've seen them. So I haven't played them, but I do want to play them so I can voice act through them, even though I know what's going to happen. And maybe other people don't know what's going to happen, so it can still be entertaining for other people. It just won't be as cool because I've seen them before, but I'm saying it right now. I do know the other two games. I know exactly who dies, I know the storylines, I know what happens. I'll probably still fuck it up when I play them, but I do plan to play them when I can afford to buy them, so... I think I have this case pretty much cracked, guys. I don't want to fucking get ahead of myself, but I'm pretty fucking sure of my intuition. Like I said, I would make a great detective in real life, and I think you can understand why. I'm pretty fucking smart if I do say so myself. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but... This looks like a car wash. I imagine it's for cleaning the exosols. It doesn't look like it's been used in a while. I don't see any clues. Okay, so if the painting hand and the car wash wasn't used at all, I think it's pretty much safe to say that Maki is the murderer. I think it makes the most sense. I've already explained why she would have the knife and the reasoning behind why she didn't have the hammer with her. I think that makes sense. We already established she used the hammer, and that's why it's not with her, because it wouldn't have been charged. They would have been curious as to why it wasn't charged, and she would have had to explain herself. I've already explained my thinking with the grenade and the hammer. I think it makes absolute fucking sense. I think it's Kaito in the press, Rosie. I think it's Kaito in the press. Kokichi is still alive, and I think it's Kaito in the press. That's what I think. I think it's genuinely Kaito in the press, but this is supposed to make us unsure of whether or not we can be sure it's Kokichi or Kaito, and that's the point of it. There's a sleeve sticking out of the press. It's definitely Kaito's coat sleeve. In that case, the victim must be. No, that hasn't been determined yet. I need to investigate further. Looks like the left sleeve sticking out of the hydraulic press. Only the sleeve is sticking out. No part of the victim's body is visible. Were they crushed completely, so that only the sleeve remains? Huh? What's this? The sleeve has a single small hole in it. Maybe that hole is a stab wound? Maybe. But that wouldn't be a hole, that would be like a slit, right? But maybe we can't determine what it is because it's a video game and we can't see it for ourselves in real life. So I think it's safe to say that this could be a stab wound, potentially. A hole in the sleeve. What could this be? Why would it have a hole in the sleeve? Kaito's code has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Maybe that supports... Why would there be a hole in the sleeve unless he was injured? And his arm was injured, so he couldn't pull himself out of the compress. But he would have still had his other arm. But maybe that's why it's the left coat sleeve. Maybe that's why it specifies that it's the left sleeve. So we can already surmise, if he was stabbed in his left arm, if that indeed is a stab wound. I suppose that's all about the information I can deduce from the hydraulic press. Can't check the body, so I don't have many clues to work with. I'll have to find more clues elsewhere. I think I got this crack, dude. I don't want to fucking get ahead of myself, but I think I'm pretty much right on the fucking money, man. I really do. I think Maki did this, man. I think it makes the most sense. I could be wrong. Even with all my theorizing and all my fucking theories, I could still potentially be wrong. There is a chance that I am wrong. Or maybe this is another double murder and Kokichi is in here and we'll find them both dead. Who knows? Danganronpa, man. This is the bathroom, now that I think about it. Better do a striptease if you're wrong. No way. I'm not doing that. I'm not sexy enough for stripteases, man. No, I'm locked up in this bathroom, but Kokichi's just outside that door. This is the place where Kaito was in prison. But if so, how did Maki get Kokichi away from here to pull this off? Because Kokichi would have been here guarding the door, yeah? Unless Kokichi left because he didn't know a grenade was stolen from him. But he did say... he had 3 grenades. Maki stole 1, so he would have still had 2. And he would have for sure noticed if 1 was missing, don't you think? So why would he risk leaving here and leaving Kaito on his own? Unless he left to control Monokuma to say that the killing game was still underway. And he actually is the mastermind, but that would support that he is the mastermind, right? Unless Maki also stole the remote that controls Monokuma to confuse people. To support whether it could be Kaito or Kokichi under the press, I think that makes sense. Kaito might have left some kind of clue here. Ah no, he didn't leave anything. He might not be dead. Anyway, I should investigate inside.
What's this?
It's fucking Maki's crossbow from her ultimate lab, right? I don't think Kokichi had anything to do with this. I think it was Maki, man. I do. I think it was Maki. What is this? Poison? Glass bottle? There's a small bottle in the corner of the bathroom. It's empty.
I remember
I
correctly.
feel like I've seen this before. It's from my ultimate lab. The label has blood all over it. I can't read it completely. But I can see the word poison.
Could it be?
And if it's poison, this bottle must be taken from my lab. His lab wouldn't have water in it, so it's not just a mislabel on purpose to be poison, to throw people off. So I think it's safe to assume it is poison, but we don't know what kind of poison it is. But maybe Kaito was poisoned before all this. And this is just here as a clue, so we can figure out that it is Maki on purpose. Maybe? Because why would this be evidence? Unless it's just done in a way so you can figure it out by game standards, you know what I mean? For fairness, I guess. I don't know who brought this here, but it definitely has something to do with this case. Like I said, maybe Kaito was injured and that's why he was unable to get out of the press. Because, think of it this way, if you were in a press and you were in life-threatening danger, you would make an effort to get out, right? Unless you didn't care whether you died or not. Small empty bottle has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. But Kaito said he wanted to help everybody, so he definitely had a reason to live. So I think we can surmise that it is Kaito under the press indeed, and it's not Kokichi at all. Traces of blood. A blood stain. Puddle of blood in the center of the room and a swipe pattern from there to the door. Okay, so... if Kaito was indeed dragged, why would this be a blood splatter, like a pool of blood, or a puddle of blood, or whatever the fuck it is? It's not puddle of mud, right? So, why would this be a puddle of blood, or blood stains, instead of a drag mark? Unless he was stabbed here. I think that's safe to say. Now we just have to establish whether he was stabbed with the knife, or stabbed with these arrows. Or maybe he was shot with the crossbow through the window. And then Maki came around through here, because... think about it. The only people who knew about the crossbow in Maki's lab, right, were me, Kaito, and Maki. If this is indeed Kaito, Kaito wouldn't have killed himself, so I don't think this was a suicide at all. I think Maki murdered Kaito. Puddle of blood in the center of the room and a swipe pattern from there to the door. What could this mean? I think Kaito was stabbed here, and there is blood on the tip of the arrows, so the arrows were used somehow. Now we just gotta figure out how they were used. Or at least theorize how they were used. Bloodstain in the bathroom has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad, so we're gonna use that to support that Kaito was injured somehow, I bet. We've already looked at the glass bottle, we have to look at the crossbow, and we have to look at the arrows. There are arrows on the floor of the bathroom. Okay, so if she wanted to injure Kaito, and she were to shoot arrows at him... okay, no, that doesn't make sense, because these still could have been shot at him, and he was just shot 3 times. Or they were bundled together with something, and he was stabbed with them. Maybe. Actually, you don't have to bundle them together. I suppose you could just grip them tightly and stab him with them, like I thought. And the crossbow is just there to throw you off into the idea that he was shot through the window, maybe? Said the wrong thing in the wrong chat. It's alright, dude. It's totally fine. I do that all the time, especially when I'm in multiple chats and I'm paying attention to 2 conversations at once. There are arrows on the floor of the bathroom, 3 in total, and blood on all of them. What is this? What happened here? See, he's saying the same thing I said. All 3 arrows have blood on them. Why would that be? And like I said, either he was shot 3 times with separate arrows, or they were used together, and he was stabbed with them, which is how I think they were used, personally. 3 arrows has been added to the truth bullet section on your monopad. Alright, let's examine the crossbow. I think that's the last thing we can examine in here. A crossbow? This is Maki's crossbow. One of the crossbows from Maki's lab. So, Maki knew how to use the crossbow. Nobody else would have known how to put the crossbow together. If I remember correctly, Shuichi disassembled the crossbow last time we were in Maki's lab. So we can establish that Shuichi knew how to put together the crossbow, or at least had a pretty good idea of how. But we're not the murderer, are we? We're the main character. We can't be the murderer. That doesn't make any sense. Kaito knew how to put the crossbow together, but he was fucking it up when he did it the first time, and Maki showed him how to do it. But maybe Kaito didn't remember. So I don't think Kaito murdered himself. Also, why make this look so extravagant? Also, we've already surmised that Kaito doesn't have a reason to kill himself. I think Maki killed him, dude. One of the crossbows from Maki's lab. You don't think it's Maki? Why do you not think it's Maki? But you could be wrong. I'm curious as to think why you don't think it's Maki, because this is put here to make you think it's Maki, but maybe it's put here specifically to make you think it's Maki, to think it's not Maki, and then it actually is Maki. But again, I could be overthinking, which I tend to do. That's my downfall. I overthink things. And when things are incredibly obvious, and they look obvious, I overthink it. And I think it's, you know, too easy to be fucking legit. And then it actually is really simple. Maybe this is one of those times, and Maki really did do it. And this is just to make you second guess yourself. Crossbow's been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Let's examine the black case. Maybe there's something within the black case? Because what would the purpose of the case being here be? Maki and Kaito were friends, and Maki cared about Kaito. I think someone framed Maki. I think that's too simple. Maki and Kaito were friends. Maki's pretty cold. Also, I've already given my reason as to why I think Maki would do it. Either A, to put him out of his misery because she knows he's suffering, so she murdered him, or to frame Kokichi. Those are the only two things I can think of. Ah, this case. Oh, what's in the black case over there? As if backing away from the conversation, Kaito headed to the far shelf. What's in it? Is it some kind of weapon? This is the case from before, right? Large black case has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Are we not gonna open the case? Are we not gonna open the case to see what's in it? Oh, what's in that black case over there? Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So you could have dumped in the case through the window, correct? And maybe that's how the case got here. That would explain the positioning of the case. Because if Maki were to just carry the case with her and plant it in here, why put it specifically there? She could have left it anywhere. If it is Maki who did this, right? So what purpose would the case have been being pushed through the window? Ah, you know what? I just came up with an idea, alright? Hear me out on this. I think Maki may have came here at night to maybe rescue Kaito, or see Kaito, quote-unquote, right? And she pushed the case in here to give him a way to get past Kokichi, to defend himself, or something like that. But the crossbow wasn't actually in the case, and it was just the case. To distract Kaito, so she could shoot him with the arrows, maybe. But if that's the case, then he wasn't stabbed with the arrows, and I don't think that would explain this blood splatter. So what is the purpose of the case? Because if she were to poison Kaito, she wouldn't have to worry about doing this case distraction thing with that theory. Right? We can't check inside the case. We already know the crossbow isn't in the case, but I wanted to know if there may have been something else in the case instead of the crossbow, but I don't think that's it. I think the case was used as a distraction for Kaito, so Maki could pull her shit off. Or there was a fight that broke out, and Maki knew he was about to kill What's-His-Face and had to stop him somehow or the other way. That could be it. I think Maki killed Kaito, dude. That's my best guess, man. Given the evidence we have. Still some things I should investigate in here. But what? The window? Did I not look at the window? Oh, I must have had the thought about the case being used through the window. But I didn't take note of the window itself by examining it. Small window for ventilation. This is the window I talked to Kaito through. The same window from before. Okay, so we can establish by the size of the window and the size of the case that the case could easily fit through that window, yes? Okay. I'm going to fuck this up in the trial, by the way. No matter how smart I seem, the trial is entirely different. I told you guys I'm far better at investigating than the trials. I fuck the trials up at least once all the time. In fact, the only trial I haven't died on was Trial 2. It's a small window and it doesn't open all the way. But like I said, that's because the game is very vague sometimes, and then it elaborates on why it's the correct answer instead of giving you the info to fucking draw the correct answer right away. Or some things are misleading on purpose, or things are explained later, or you jump the gun on stuff and you have to explain step by step for the stupid people. It's just annoying, because not everybody thinks that way, right? Especially me, because like I said, I'd make a great detective, I think. I suppose if someone could fit through, Kaito would have escaped by now. Yeah, so a person wouldn't be able to fit through the window, but the case could. Perhaps it's too small for a person, but an object could fit through. An object, like the black case on the floor. Maybe. Maybe. There's another option, but like I said, Maki could have maybe stole 2 bombs, gave Kaito 1, because she only had 1 use for 1, and the hammer. But I don't think that's it, because I think we can establish that she stole 1 from Kokichi, not multiple. So I think the hammer and the grenade were both used. Because why would they have the same effect, if not to set up a murder like this to make you think, right? Bathroom window's been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Alright, I've finished investigating the bathroom. There were more clues than I thought there'd be, and one is particularly concerning. Why is the crossbow from Maki's lab in here? Yeah, what is the purpose of the crossbow? That's what I want to figure out. That's the only thing I don't understand. Because, like I said, if Maki stabbed Kaito with the arrows, she would have had to get in here. And she could have gotten in here, like we already established, but the time frame of which she could have gotten in here, like I said, at nighttime, last night, right? We already established she could have gotten in here before we got in here, but this is meant to make us think that she just came in here with us, but that may not be the case at all. Maybe she was in here before, like I said earlier. And the 3 bloody arrows. Those arrows are definitely for the crossbow, but why are all 3 bloodied? Exactly. She either shot him with the 3 arrows, which I don't think is the case, or she stabbed him with them. Ah, I get it! Okay, I get it. The 3 arrows were used to stab him, but they're all 3 bloodied to make you think that they were shot through the window like I originally thought, but they were used a different way. He wasn't shot with the 3 arrows. Maki took the 3 arrows, came in here and stabbed him. Had to have been. And that was just a cover for how they were used. Or Maki and Kaito had a plan to kill What's-His-Face, but things went the wrong way. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. All the answers will come in the class trial when I fuck it up, and we'll piece it together and we'll see how right or how wrong I was. Because usually I pretty much nail it on the head, except for a few small details. Because, like I said earlier, once you've seen a Danganronpa, you kind of start to think outside the box on shit, because this game pulls so many mindfucks, and it does so many crazy things, and things have alternate uses than what you'd originally think, right? Why cover up how the arrows were used? Why cover up how the arrows were used? To throw people off, obviously. There's still so much I don't know. This case looks like it's going to be tricky. Yeah, to cover up how the fucking arrows were used. To confuse people and to think maybe they were used to stab him or to be shot into him. So they were actually used to stab him, but they were actually, you know, used a different way. Or maybe they were, like, somebody would automatically think maybe he was shot with 3 arrows, but they were actually bundled to stab him, you know what I mean? So my original thought, right, was that he was stabbed with the knife. But if he was indeed stabbed with the knife, that would leave blood all over the fucking panel, right? But she scratched the panel from the outside with the knife. She cut it up. But what would be the point of that? Also, if she had stabbed Kaito with the knife, that would leave blood all over the panel. Because why would the panel be sliced up? We already established Maki had a knife, right? That's the only thing I can draw from that. So, let's say if she were to slice the panel after killing Kaito by stabbing him with the knife, the panel would be bloody, right? And that'd be a little bit weird. So, she sliced the panel with the knife, and that was the use for the knife that she had. And she used the arrows instead of the knife to stab Kaito instead of the knife itself. That's what I think. But, like I said, sometimes I'm really, really smart and I get a lot of the shit correct, but I have a few small details wrong. But we'll see at the trial. Like I said, I could be wrong about this entire thing, or I could be wrong about some of it, and I'm right about a lot of it. Who knows? That's the fun, right? So, we'll see how it goes. I think there are still things to investigate here. What else? Oh, we have to talk to everybody, I think. And that's our last, Oh yeah, okay, so we must have to get alibis from these people. Let's talk to Tsumugi and, Himiko then.
The Monokuma file this time barely has any information in it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be of much use to us. Not like it ever is, because I always fuck it up anyway.
It's so useless, he probably shouldn't have even gone out of his way to give it to us.
Yeah, I think you have to pretty much pull this one together yourself without the Monokuma file.
Nice.
It's fine, it's fine. Mascot's appearance at a murder scene brings a sense of relief and peace of mind. But he popped out! Want an attention hog? Of course I want attention, I'm the mascot for crying out loud. And yet I've appeared fewer times than that plain Jane Tsumugi over there. It'd be false advertising if I didn't appear as often as I can, you know.
That is true. I also had my fucking worries about Tsumugi from the beginning. She seemed way too plain, so you'd forget about her.
Advertising? What advertising?
No.
Ignore it. Let's just focus on the investigation. So maybe Tsumugi herself is the mastermind and it's not Kokichi at all, like I thought, and Kokichi's just bullshitting and saying he's the mastermind and making use of everything he has to confuse people.
What? I don't want to talk to you right now, okay? The way you are now, you might start accusing people because you can't believe Kaito's dead.
No.
No, that's not...
I don't want to hear your excuses or anything else, just don't talk to me. If you keep bugging me, I'll give you afro hair with my magic.
Yeah, I can't see Shuichi with that at all. She's awfully stubborn. Is she that suspicious of everything now? Or is there a reason she doesn't want to talk to anyone? That's supposed to throw you off into thinking it's Himiko. That's supposed to throw you off. What else is there to investigate? I've investigated the blood, haven't I? And the coat. I've investigated the press. I've investigated the panel. I've investigated the washing machine. I've talked to Himiko. I've talked to Tsumugi. I've investigated the exisal. Can we examine the red one? Red exisal is completely still.
Hey,
Shuichi, it's dangerous there. If you go near that thing, you might get torn apart.
No, it shouldn't move anymore, not without the Monokubs or Kokichi.
So it's just a pile of scrap then?
Hey!
Please, don't scare me like
My
that.
magic.
Maybe I should just tear this hunk of junk apart with my magic.
Ah, but I suppose that if Kokichi was alive, he could move it at any time by remote.
Why didn't you say so sooner?
That is, if Kokichi is alive. That remote control Kokichi has for the exisouls, what is it exactly? Does he have that because he's the mastermind? No, I don't think so. I think he stole it. That's about all I can investigate here in the hangar. But is the red exisol in the same position that it was before? It's not a truth bullet, so I don't think it was used in the murder at all. There's still questions. The truth is still far out of reach. I still can't deduce who the victim is. No more clues. I should investigate other areas. I should start with the areas around the hangar. Yes, let's go do that. Maybe that'll help my theory of Maki doing this. I think, giving my reasoning, it makes the most sense. Like I said, I could be getting ahead of myself. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't know yet. That's the joy of playing it blind, so... The alarm system is off. It must still be affected by the electro bomb.
Alright.
I should investigate this place thoroughly. There must be some clues around here. Let's examine the panel. That's scratched to fuck by a knife, obviously. This is the control panel that controls the electric barrier protecting the hangar. If we hit it with an electro hammer, so it isn't operational right now. Unless somebody stole the knife from Maki's lab and then put it back to do this and pull it off, that could make sense. But Maki did have the knife, and why would she insist on bringing the knife instead of the hammer? Unless it was a cover, like I thought earlier. So I think it's safe to assume that Maki used the knife on this. Which would mean Maki's the culprit, because... what's the point of doing this? Unless she did this to distract Kokichi, and that's how she pulled this off, maybe. Maybe? That's right, what are these marks here? Looks like as if it's been struck by something sharp. What could these be? Oh wait, how are they even able to damage this in the first place? Getting near the control panel should cause the alarm to go off. You have to turn off the alarm before you even get close. So how did the person who did this get near the control panel? With the electro bomb. Wait, but... if she used the electro bomb last night in order to turn off the shutter, and she only had one... oh wait, no, she could have used the electro bomb from outside to disengage the door and the fucking press. I think we've established that. And she must have used the hammer on the exisal. That makes the most sense, because the exisal would have been out of range, wouldn't it? For the electro bomb. That's why she had to use the hammer on that. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense, dude. I think I have this cracked, man. It all points to Maki, honestly. If I'm honest, nobody else had an electro bomb. We've already established you'd have to have an electro bomb to pull this off, wouldn't you? You'd have to have an electro bomb. It all folds into place, dude. It all makes sense. I think it's fucking Maki, man. I think I've pretty much cemented it. Unless if Kaito was given the electro bomb through the window. Also, if Maki wanted to rescue Kaito, why not just give him the electro bomb through the window to disengage this? Because Kokichi was standing guard. But if that's the case, what's the purpose of scratching the panel if you could get Kaito to be able to escape? Because there'd be no reason to come in here now if Kaito was already freed, right? Maki fucking did it, dude. I swear to God, Maki fucking did it, man. I think it all makes sense. I think all my reasoning, all my logic totally applies to everything. On that, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be back in a minute, and I'll see you guys very shortly. Also, I don't have OBS up because I'm a fucking retard. So I'll see you guys very soon. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, so hang in there and we'll be back. And hopefully we can figure this shit out. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, dude, I think everything points to Maki. Jeremiah, I know you're new here. I really love the Danganronpa series because it's one of the only things that I know that actually makes me think. And it's a really fun process for me to go through, and I have a lot of fun, like, exercising my mental capabilities to figure shit out. And, of course V3 is blind. Like I said, I've played the other ones.
What the fuck is that, my friends? What is that over there? Is that an electro hammer? I think it is. It's pink, it's a hammer, it's electro. I think I have this right.
I think I have this fucking right, dude. I think I have this right, man. I think it's fucking Maki, dude. Although saying that, anybody could have used their electro hammer, but why would Maki have not brought hers specifically? Why? Unless she used somebody else's, but how would she get into their room? How? It's fucking Maki, dude. It has to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Unless Kokichi did it himself and did it to frame Maki. That's a possibility. But I don't think that's right. Because by the rules of the killing game... maybe I shouldn't say this because it could be spoiler potential. So, spoiler potential warning, how I'm going to explain this. I'm just trying to be careful for other people. So, by the rules of the killing game, even if the mastermind kills somebody, they would have to kill themselves. If they're trying to imitate Junko and Ashima, that's exactly how it would go if they were discovered, because you can't break the rules, even if you are the mastermind. So I don't think Kokichi had anything to do with this. I think it was Maki, motherfucker. I really do. I do. There's an electro hammer here, but why? And it's out of power.
It must have been used. But used for what?
I think I know.
But be careful, the electro hammer runs out of battery pretty quickly. So if you use it against an Exisol, it'll run out of juice with just one shot, got it?
If you use it against an Exisol. So she used the electro hammer to hit the Exisol, either to get past it, or to be able to get into the hangar, but I don't think that's it. Actually, can you still move the Exisol if you power it down by hitting it with the hammer? That's a detail that I want to know. And I feel like I should be able to know that, in order for this to be, like, a fair thought process. I don't know if you can, like, knock it out and then get in it and still pilot it. Or not. But we've already established you can't get near the fucking thing, the hangar, without the alarm going off. But if the alarm was engaged and Maki threw the electro bomb at it from where we were all in front of the gate, so I don't understand that at all. But I think I'm still correct about her hitting the fucking Exisol with the hammer. I just don't know how or why, or what purpose that would serve, if she could get into the fucking thing. Either way. If the electro hammer's power is expended, it requires 24 hours to recharge. We know that for certain. And it's not charged. And if it requires 24 hours, a full day to recharge, this could have been pulled off at night, yeah? Used electro hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Everything fucking points to Maki. And I've already cemented that because in order to pull this off, you'd need both a hammer and a bomb. Maki was the only one with a bomb. And she threw it just a little while ago so we could get into the hangar, but like I said, maybe that was to disengage the shutter and the fucking thing at the same time. And she used the Exisol to get through the hangar by hitting it with the hammer and then piloting it over there. And it did say one person could fit in the cockpit of it. I remember the sight I saw yesterday. I'm sorry I'm thinking so much and I'm talking so much instead of progressing the game, but I'm literally just trying to exercise every possibility and think everything through thoroughly. Exisol's protecting Monokuma for some reason. Kokichi said he was the mastermind. The Exisol should have been around him. So why were they still protecting Monokuma, and four of them too? See, I was wondering why it was specifically the green Exisol, because it could have been any of them, but maybe that doesn't matter. I suppose I was so caught up thinking about Kokichi, I ignored Monokuma. Oh, speak of the devil.
Pay attention, listen up, take heed, I say.
Monokuma.
And another.
It's just, I noticed you came this way last night, Shuichi.
Huh?
You were acting all sneaky, weren't you? Like a teenage boy trying to creep into the adult movie section of the video store.
No way!
But you didn't need to sneak around because the Exisol wouldn't have attacked you.
Hey!
What are you saying? We didn't have to sneak?
Buzz!
Because everyone's coming to rent adult movies, so in a way, everyone going there is the same.
Wait!
No, not that. I mean about the Exisols not attacking us. Oh, at the time, the Exisols were on autopilot and directed to only observe me. So the Exisols wouldn't have been on guard for attacking purposes. They were there for strictly guarding purposes. I think that supports Maki hitting one of the Exisols with the hammer.
Hey,
Their movements are more limited now that the Monokubs aren't around to pilot them.
Huh?
Autopilot, you mean the remote control that Kokichi has?
well...
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So maybe Maki somehow stole the remote from Kokichi, hit the Exisol to power it down, but what would be the purpose of that if she could just control it with the remote? So maybe the remote wasn't involved. And she was in the Exisol and moved it to the fucking door like I thought. So the Exisols were being controlled by Kokichi's remote control. She must have gotten this idea and used it for her plot when she realized a human could work the Exisol. When we got through the underground tunnel. But they were focusing on Monokuma.
Hey!
Why are you telling me all of this? This puts that person controlling you at a disadvantage.
Hey,
But we're not talking about that, we're talking about this.
yeah.
Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys.
Hey!
So you share it instead, that way it'll be fair to all the participants. So someone else besides me knows this. Maki. Why wouldn't they share this information to pull off a murder? By the way, renting movies is so old school, it's more thrilling to illegally download them.
Psycho!
It's like trying to not get caught by a big game hunter while holding your breath during sex. Oh my god, this fucking game, dude. This information about the Exisols could be a clue to solving this case, I should remember this. Exisols protecting Monokuma has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your monopad. I think it's fucking Maki, man. I really do. I think it's Maki. I think it's fucking Maki, man. I really do. What exactly did I witness here? I know for certain that the Exisols are being controlled by Kokichi's remote control, but why were they focusing on Monokuma? It's a good question. Maybe that's how she distracted Kokichi. Because if you think about this, and Kaito really is under the press, Kokichi would have had to have been distracted somehow. So maybe the purpose of that was to get Kokichi to open the barrier himself, and she didn't open the barrier with the Exisol at all. But she lured Kokichi away from the area of the hangar by fucking with the Exisol. Because he had the remote control, so he would have known, right, if something was fucked with. Maybe that was the purpose. Also, she is an assassin, so she'd be quite sneaky, wouldn't she? And she wouldn't get caught, would she? Everything points to Maki. Everything points to Maki. I didn't even need to come across the hammer because I already figured out it was used. Because I'm smart. What exactly did I witness here? I know for certain that the Exisols are being controlled by Kokichi's remote control, but why were they focusing on Monokuma? I'm just examining all the Exisols, by the way. What exactly did I witness here? Blah blah blah. So the Exisols have nothing to do with it, so I guess we were coming here just to see the hammer. Is that it? But Ding Dong time hasn't started, so we must be missing a detail somewhere. But where? Also, why does the yellow one have blood on it? Maybe the Exisol was used to injure Kaito? No, they all have blood on them. Or maybe it's not blood, maybe it's just a design or something. Yeah, they all have blood on them, so I guess that's just how they're made, model-wise. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure. They all have blood on them, so it's nothing weird and specific that I need to check. Okay, it's good to know. I don't think I needed the clue for the hammer, though. I think I already figured that out beforehand, and I think it's pretty safe to say that we figured that out. Well, I did. You guys didn't do shit. I did, though. Well, Rosie did. I'm not saying she's wrong, but probably. Because she isn't thinking what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking I'm pretty fucking right. Like I said, not to toot my own fucking horn, but I think I'm correct. I think I'm starting to feel a little better now. I'm
Sorry to worry you, Shuichi.
Okay.
Oh, I was a bit worried. I'm glad you're feeling better. Maybe Kibo's going to tell us something that he found out that we didn't find out when we were investigating this area. There was something I needed to ask Kibo. Hey Kibo, before we went into the hangar this morning, you said... So I went to the hangar last night and tried to talk to him. Tried to talk to him on your own? I'm sorry, I thought it'd be preferable for him to release Kaito peacefully. How did it go? It went about as well as I expected. There was no response at all. But I did witness a few things. I don't remember what he witnessed. You said that you witnessed a few things. What exactly did you see? Ah yes, since we were in a hurry, I only told you about the Exisol returning to the hangar.
Okay.
Yes, you said the Exisols could pass through the alarm system and barrier to the hangar.
Yes.
I never imagined something like this would happen, so I didn't mention it before. But before I saw the Exisol, I saw someone heading toward the hangar.
Huh?
Saw someone? I saw Himiko.
I was in my lab, trying to think of what I should write to convince Kokichi. That's when I saw her walking toward the hangar, clutching
That's
something in her
obviously the
hands.
black case. So maybe she was trying to rescue Kaito on her own. So Himiko or fucking Maki could be the murderers? Fuck me, dude. Really? I can't think of Himiko being smart enough to pull this off, though, but maybe she's smart. She's just really lazy.
I think it was a black bag.
Uh-huh. We've already established it's the case for the crossbow. Shit, maybe Rosie was right. Fuck me.
A black bag.
Fuck me, dude.
I
At the time, I assumed she was going there to examine things or plead with Kokichi, and since she came back later, I didn't think much of it. But after seeing her reaction this morning, I started to get a little suspicious.
What did you see?
Why?
She was acting like she had something to hide. It's not what I want. It's not that I want to suspect
You're
her.
right.
True, it is suspicious.
Hey!
You said you saw her come back as well. What's up, Mad Noob? How's it going? We're trying to figure out a murder. She was holding the bag at that time.
well,
Now that I think about it, she didn't. So she had it coming in, but not leaving. She put it through the window. Maybe it's still Maki, but she told Himiko to go give it to Kaito, but... Fuck me, man. This is hard. It has to be. The black bag Himiko was carrying was... By the way, this is a little off topic, Shuichi, but... Huh? What is it? The reason I wasn't feeling well may have been due to the Electro Bomb. I thought so. Okay. So... If Kibo wasn't feeling well due to the Electro Bomb, that means that Maki did use it at the time she did use it. Which we already knew, but, you know, come on.
but
It's common sense. But it was because of the electromagnetic particles, not because I'm a robot. So what I experienced was akin to an allergic reaction, such as hay fever.
which means
So it could have affected a human the same way. Being a robot had nothing to do with it.
okay.
Ah, right, that must be it. So that thing Himiko said was bothering him. He really is a bit too sensitive. Kibo's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your Monopad. Okay, so Kibo's account is that he saw the Exisol either entering the hangar, or that he saw Himiko. So Himiko could be the murderer, and it could be Maki. I was suspecting only Maki, but maybe you're supposed to suspect Himiko on purpose just to throw you off. Oh yeah, guys, everybody here, go follow D as well. Seriously. Like, if you like what he plays, definitely give him a check out. He's a really fantastic human being, really. So be sure to go check him be sure to check him out as well. I can't English, by the way. Should we go back into the hangar and see if there's any more evidence? Because we still don't have a ding-dong, so what does that mean? Maybe we have to take what information we have with Kibo and address Himiko, maybe? The hangar shutter. There's a security alarm here. You have to use the alarm remote to disable it to get near the hangar. If you come near the shutter without the remote, a loud alarm would go off around the entire academy. We had to use an electro bomb to disable the sensor in the alarm. That's how we got into the hangar. It's not exactly a bomb, though, even if it is called an electro bomb. It jams electronic signals by scattering particles that interfere with electromagnetic waves. We're 2 hours away, and all electronic devices within 50 yards will be completely disabled. It's perfect for any secret activities, too, since it doesn't leave any debris behind. This invention is extraordinary, but I only have 3 of them. So I need to use them carefully. You guys will have to settle for the electro hammers. Now that I think about it, there were 3 electro bombs total. One was stolen by Maki. But what if the other 2? Yeah, there were 2 more. Maki only had 1, but what happened to the others? So maybe there were multiple electro bombs used like I originally thought. Forever gender confused by a Danganronpa character or by D? Because if you're saying that in reference to D, I totally understand. Because my name, everybody thinks I'm a female. But to be fair, I am trans. I do consider myself trans. Not that I give a fuck what people refer to me as. I don't give a shit, because I'm not that sensitive, because I'm not an SJW. But if you're wondering what the demon chick is, that's basically a mascot that I made up for myself. I mean, it's not my character, but I basically, like, kind of perverted the character in my own way so it could be used as my own character, if that makes any sense. And I chose that character specifically for the theme, number 1. Number 2, she's female, so it makes perfect sense. So let's see. We got the hammer, we have the exosouls. I think it's either Maki or Himiko now, but I think Himiko's just supposed to throw us off in thinking it's Maki. And it's actually Maki. I think it's actually Maki, man. I'm still... It could be Himiko and it could be Maki. I'm just gonna say that right now. It could be either of them, but I think it's Maki. I should check inside the hangar now. What do I have to check still? I thought I've checked everything. The only thing could be that we have to check is the exosol area, right? Or maybe I'm supposed to find debris of something and not an electro bomb? But there's no debris. We've already examined the panel. We can't examine an alarm. We can't go back into there, so we must be missing something out here, but what? Either nerds of one flavor or another? Yeah. Thought you were a female too until you saw the video? Yeah. I get that a lot. This is the bathroom window. This is the hangar's only window and it's not possible to fit through. That means the only way to get into this hangar is through the shutter. That's about all I was concerned with in the hangar, but I still don't have enough clues. There have to be more. The other places that might yield some clues are Maki's lab and my lab. Crossbow in the bathroom, the bottle of poison. I need to investigate those leads. I should also inspect the 3 exosouls that were protecting Monokuma. Why were they protecting it in the first place? That might be related to the case as well. That's a good thought. That's why I wanted to check out the exosouls as well. Dude, I'm fucking Shuichi in a nut, except for the trials, dude. I fuck up the trials so goddamn bad. No matter how smart I may seem here, I will fuck it up at the trial. Guaranteed. Honestly. No matter how smart I may come off, I'm gonna fuck it up at the trial. Right, so let's go investigate my lab and Maki's lab. Maybe we'll find something that supports our Maki theory in Maki's lab and my lab, or maybe we'll find clues that point to somebody else. Who knows? Himiko and Maki are now my 2 top suspects, though. Definitely. Why would she be bringing the black case there? So either one of 2 things happened. She brought the black case and it didn't have the crossbow in it, and Maki used it for her plan. Or it did have the crossbow in it, but just not the arrows, and Himiko didn't know. Or something, and she went to go bring it to Kaito, but the arrows weren't with the crossbow, and like I said, maybe Maki brought the arrows to stab Kaito with. Also, if she was going to stab Kaito with the arrows, why bring the crossbow? So maybe it's not just to make you think she shot him through the window, but maybe that was also to double for Himiko bringing the case as well to throw you off, so maybe it's even more of a throw-off than I thought. And that's supposed to just make you suspect Himiko due to the black case. But it's still Himiko. Or, it's still Maki, and not Himiko, I mean, sorry. Got my, suspects mixed up. It's not very good for a detective, is it? Or a potential detective. I feel as though there are less weapons here than I remember. Yeah, what exactly is missing? Alright, everyone's here. I hope you're all ready. Are those weapons? See, went to my lab yesterday to find weapons to use against Monokuma. Because Kaito had them. Less weapons. What would be missing? Can we examine the weapon shelf? Feels as though there are less weapons here than I remember. Yeah. Oh, I see. Black case. Let's look at the black case. As I suspected, there are 2 black bags here, identical to the one in the hangar. The cases for the crossbows. The crossbows are inside, but disassembled.
No.
Looks as if they didn't even fit in the case unless they're disassembled. Okay. There are 2. When I was here with Kaito before, there were 3. Exactly. Gonna go now, I think. Peace out. No problem, Mad Noom. See you later. Hopefully you come back soon. There were 3 of them. And I'm sure that Kaito didn't have a crossbow with him.
That's true.
Well, detectives do mess up. The different is you learn from it, yeah, I guess. In that case, the crossbow in the hangar must have come from here. Yeah, well, we already know that. Which means someone must have brought it to the hangar from here. Which we also know. But it's fairly difficult to put together the crossbow. I don't believe you'd be able to do it unless Maki taught you. So either Maki taught Himiko how to do it, because if the crossbow has to be disassembled... Thank you for the hostie. Sorry, that distracted me from my thought. If the crossbow has to be disassembled to fit in the bag, maybe Himiko didn't know how to put it together, but maybe Himiko was told to bring the case to Kaito like I thought, to implicate her in Maki's crime. And maybe Maki convinced Himiko to drop it off to Kaito, and then Maki assembled it to make it look like Himiko did it. Maybe? Don't believe you'd be able to do it unless Maki taught you. I'll think more about that later. For now, I need to investigate. Okay, so the crossbow has to be disassembled to fit in the bag. So we can establish that when Himiko brought it, it was disassembled. Either that or it was a different crossbow entirely. But why would the 2 black bags be here if that were the case? So, Himiko brought it down there disassembled, so it couldn't have been used to shoot Kaito through the window if it was disassembled at that point in time. So I think I'm right in thinking that Maki bundled the arrows together to stab Kaito with them. Oh my god, I just figured out the correlation between the poison and the arrows. The arrows were dipped in the poison, and then she stabbed Kaito with them. That's it. That's gotta be it. I just figured that out now. I was trying to think of how the poison could be used rather than being drank. Because how would you get somebody to drink poison voluntarily? You wouldn't. She dipped the arrows in the fucking poison and stabbed him with them, like I thought. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm super fucking smart. Not really. I never said that. Again. Rosie! I'm looking at you, girl. Don't you do it. Don't fucking do it. I'm watching you. She dipped him in the poison and stabbed Kaito with him. That's gotta be it. And then assembled the crossbow herself and left it in the bathroom. For confusion. And that's why the crossbow's there. Because if she were to dip the arrows in the poison, she didn't even need the crossbow at all. So why would the crossbow be being brought there? Unless she was trying to frame Himiko. I think I got this, dude. I think I got it. Honestly, I think I got it. I think it's fucking Maki. I don't think it's Himiko at all. I think it's fucking Maki. Crossbow's been updated in the truth bullet section of your monopad. Alright, there must be some clues in my lab, and this is what we had to find from here. But that's an important detail to know the crossbow cannot fit in the case unless it's disassembled. Although we could have already drew that conclusion, because we had to disassemble the crossbow before pulling it out, right? Like, we couldn't have the assembled crossbow in the case, could we? And that's why it was disassembled when we first took it out of the case. And had to disassemble it, because Shuichi said he had to disassemble the crossbow. And that was how it was able to fit back into the case. So if the crossbow itself had no purpose in Maki's crime, why would she have had Himiko bring it down there? Why? I mean, Kaito knew how to assemble it, but I don't think he would have remembered. So maybe, okay, pretend I'm Maki right now. You talk to Himiko, you tell her, don't worry, Kaito knows how to use the crossbow. I told him how to assemble it, blah blah blah. He'll be fine on his own. Blah blah blah. Go bring this to Kaito so he can get out. Blah blah blah. But if that's the case, why would Maki be going to rescue Kaito now? Because if they were all going to rescue Kaito, Himiko would have known that Maki gave her the crossbow. So maybe Maki didn't tell her anything, and Himiko just brought the crossbow to Kaito as an idea on her own? But then how would Maki implicate Himiko in the crime that she was going to pull off? I don't understand that. Maybe I have a detail wrong that's fucking me up in that line of thought. But I still think Maki did it, dude. I'm convinced thoroughly. All the evidence points to Maki, and there's like one little speck of it that points to Himiko, but I don't think that's enough to incriminate her. Also, I want to know what the fuck this lab is. I don't know what any of this means. I think it's made that way on purpose. I know it's Rantaro's lab. But what is he? We don't know his talent. We still haven't figured that out. I've been trying to piece it together and I can't. That bottle of poison in the hangar, I need to confirm that it came from here. Where else would it have come from? Retard. There's several bottles of poison lined up here. I haven't seen any poison outside of this lab, so the small bottle of poison I found must have come from here. You had to come here to check that? I mean, you should come here and look for other clues, but you came here purposely to establish that? Maybe. I think Maki was framed to do it. That's also a valid thing, but... Oh yeah, because maybe Maki didn't have the knife. Maybe the knife was also took from her lab. You're right, so it could still be Himiko. You know what? I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. It could still be Himiko trying to frame Maki. That makes perfect sense. There's a little less liquid inside this bottle than the others. The label says strike 9 poison. So why just a little bit of poison, not the whole bottle? Why would there be 2 different bottles of poison? This poison takes some time to spread, but even a small amount of it, although it requires time to circulate, even a small amount in the body will result in certain death. Can be lethal. I think the arrows were dipped in the fucking poison, dude. I think the arrows were dipped in the poison, man. Can't imagine that there's a smaller amount in this bottle for no reason. This must be a clue. So maybe Himiko did this, and it's Kokichi in there, and dressed up in Kaito's coat. No, I think it's actually Kaito under there. I think it makes the most sense. Plus, there was blood in the bathroom. Why would there be blood in the bathroom? Unless Kaito actually broke out already, but he would have immediately gone up to meet up with everybody else, right? So I think we can assume it's Kaito in the press and not Kokichi. One was maybe a fake one. Fake bottle of poison, and she dipped the arrows in this poison ahead of time and put the poison there, but what purpose would that serve? That would just make more evidence and implicate, you know. Maybe you're right, maybe it is a fake bottle of poison, but I don't understand what the purpose behind that would be. Still some things I should investigate here. Okay, so there are other things to investigate. Small glass bottles, maybe this is it? There are a bunch of bottles on top of the desk. Did someone take them out? These bottles say antidote. Antidotes, huh? I didn't know these were here. According to the labels, each bottle is only 1 dose, and each one only works on a specific poison. Well, I suppose that makes sense. There are plenty different kinds of poisons, so that means it must be true for antidotes. Strike 9 poison in antidotes. That is disconcerting. None of these antidotes are for the strike 9 poison. They're all for different poisons. Shit, that just complicated this a lot. What could that mean?
Alright,
Alright, I've investigated this room thoroughly. Unless Maki poisoned herself and then gave herself the antidote. But if there's no antidote for that specific poison, what the fuck do those have to do with anything? The fake bottle was first an empty one, so she filled it up a little so no one would know that the poison was taken. You know what? I think I just figured it out. I think Maki filled up the bottle of poison that's in the bathroom with a little bit from each of these containers, these antidote containers. So the bottle that's labeled poison, which is why we can't read the entire label, is actually antidote, and it's just labeled poison. But she actually took the poison from here and dipped the arrows in this poison on the shelf, the Strike 9 poison, because there's no antidote. I think that makes sense, right? And the liquid either in the bathroom is either just water, or it's these antidotes mixed together or something like that. And that's why there'd be 3 bottles. She took a little bit from each bottle, so it wouldn't be obvious that one of the bottles was filled with one antidote, or like one bottle was noticeably empty. So you could draw the conclusion. That makes sense, right? So I think the 3 antidotes were combined together a little bit from each. Because, on the contrary, there's plenty of evidence to suggest Kokichi isn't dead. Monokuma is still moving around, and the killing game hasn't ended. Kaito's clothes were in the hydraulic press, which means the victim must be. No, it's too soon to be thinking like that. If I investigate a little more, I'll find something. There's still time. I should head back to the hangar. Perhaps I missed something. I should check again. I want to cross-reference that idea that the antidotes were combined and put into that fucking bottle. Because if Shuichi says there's only enough for 1 dose in each bottle of antidote, maybe the amount of liquid in the bottle that's labeled poison, quote-unquote, in the bathroom is either a lot or little. If it's little, I think my theory of the antidotes being mixed together to form the liquid in the bottle in the bathroom makes sense. But if it's full, then I don't think that's the case and I have something wrong. But I don't know what. Found in the corner of the bathroom, the label stained with blood, so the only visible word is poison. Determined to have come from the Ultimate Detectives Research Lab. Maybe this was put here. And Kaito tried to drink it, but his hand was bloody. And the label's just poison, like maybe the label was swapped from antidote to poison, but... if it was swapped to poison, Kaito wouldn't drink the poison if it said poison, so what the fuck? It doesn't tell me how much liquid is in the bottle. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe this bottle was filled with a little bit of poison like I thought from this container on the shelf, just to make it so there were 2 separate bottles to make it more confusing. And she dipped each arrow into this bottle. I don't fucking know, dude. That makes sense, but the only one who knows how to mix things is the witch person because she deals with potions or whatever. Yeah, but she doesn't know about poisons. That doesn't make any sense. Although, let's examine these bottles again. Harmlock, Knight's Hate, and Arsenic. Those sound like something a witch would use. That makes total sense. Maybe it is Himiko. You know what, Rosie? I think you may be right. I think it's either A, Himiko, or B, Maki, and I think that makes perfect fucking sense. Now that you bring that up, that she would know how to mix shit, that makes fucking perfect sense. But I still can't figure out how to draw the conclusion between the arrows being dipped in the poison and the antidotes. The antidotes confuse me a little bit, but I think the antidotes were put into the bottle. Why would the thing be labeled poison and scratched off with blood so we can't read it? Obviously to be confusing and to make us think, but... maybe Maki tried to save Kaito with the antidote? No. Because it required planning. Maki still had the electro bomb on her, so the electro bomb wasn't stolen. We've established that you needed an electro bomb to pull this plan off. So even if Himiko was implicated in all these ways, like what with the black bag and with the mixing of chemicals and shit like that and the antidotes, I don't think she could have pulled it off, unless Himiko also stole an electro bomb from Kokichi, or something like that, and kept it secret. And used her own electro hammer, but... And we were just made to think Maki didn't have hers with the knife and everything. And that whole theory. It's Maki or Himiko, but I don't know which. I think Maki could have only pulled this off. But you're right, it could be Himiko too, on the off chance. I thought it was Kokichi in one chapter, and it turned out to be somebody else. Everything was theorized and contemplated by Kokichi, but he wasn't the one who did it. I don't know who to tell. I think it's purely the poison and the antidotes that's throwing me off from figuring out this entire trial, honestly. I think that one piece of evidence is the thing that's throwing me off. Kibo's not here anymore. Why would Kibo not be here anymore? And why would I have to check the shutter again? Or the hangar again? Oh, hey, Maki's back. Perfect.
Shuichi!
Oh, Shuichi, can you come with me?
What happened?
Something wrong? Found something strange in the bathroom. Please hurry. Something strange in the bathroom, but I already checked the bathroom, so what's different about the bathroom now? Shouted quickly and ran into the bathroom. What are you talking about, Kibo? Is there somebody else murdered? Is it gonna be a double murder? Hey, it's Kokichi's clothes. Those weren't here before. Kibo, what are you looking at?
Yes.
Take a look at this.
Huh?
Those are Kokichi's clothes? Soaked and wrinkled, but there's no doubt these are Kokichi's.
But,
Where did you find this? I didn't see it when I was investigating the bathroom. Why are they soaked? Well, the toilet seemed clogged, so I reached my hand down the drain and pulled out these clothes. It looks like they couldn't be flushed all the way. Couldn't be flushed all the way. Why were these clothes in the toilet in the first place? Yes, it was very brave of me, and thanks to that I managed to find an important clue. Now, Shuichi, please investigate as much as you want.
okay.
Yeah. Clogging the toilet, huh? But this isn't the time to hesitate. Maybe Maki planted these to frame Kokichi, or maybe Himiko planted these to frame Kokichi and Maki, who knows? I still don't know whether to decide whether it's between Maki or Himiko as the prime suspect. Can wash the clothes at the same time, but isn't there a sink in here? Yeah, there's a sink right there. Why wash the clothes in the toilet rather than the sink? See, I thought about that too, but I knew there was a sink in the bathroom, so I was like, why the toilet? Kokichi's clothes found in the bathroom? See, you can hide the clothes by putting them in the toilet. You couldn't hide the clothes by putting them in the sink, so I think that was purely the purpose of it. Kokichi's clothes found in the bathroom. If they were found in the toilet, someone must have tried to flush them, exactly. But who would do
What's
that?
the matter?
Something the matter? Please investigate.
Okay.
Huh, okay. Ultimate Detective can't stop here. This has to be an important
Alright.
clue. I made up my mind, grabbed Kokichi's soaked clothes, and spread them open. Huh? There's a small hole in the back, and there's also blood. Why would that be? And another small hole on the sleeve. Either A, Maki knocked Kokichi out, put on his clothes, stabbed herself with the arrows, and then antidoted herself. Or she just stabbed Kokichi with the fucking 2 arrows, and Kokichi is dead as well. And we don't know where Kokichi is, on purpose. Maybe Kokichi and Kaito are both dead. This is about the same size as the one on Kaito's sleeve. There are traces of blood around the holes, too. Okay, 3 marks, right? There's a hole in the back, there's a hole on the sleeve, and there's a hole in Kaito's coat. So I think we can pretty much confirm that the arrows were the fucking thing used to stab the victims, yes? And I think I'm correct about the arrows being dipped in the poison. I think that makes the most sense. Question is, why was Kokichi stabbed with 2 arrows and Kaito with 1? What does this mean? It could mean that he was attacked. In that case...
No.
There's a chance Kokichi was the one crushed by the hydraulic press. Either that or they're both dead. Ah, Kibo, thank you. This is a very important clue.
Well,
I'm happy I was able to help, but I must decline shaking that hand of
No.
yours. Oh, your hands aren't clean either, though. Kokichi's clothes has been added to the truth bullet section of your modipad. So maybe we're supposed to cross-reference the holes made in Kokichi's clothes with the ones in Kaito's clothes to confirm that it was the arrows that did it. And the witch left alone but was sweating, so maybe it was her. Kokichi was the one crushed by the hydraulic press. Where did Kaito go? Why not show himself? Exactly. And why is this game still going, even though the mastermind is dead? Maybe Kaito plotted to kill Kokichi and Maki helped? One's not dead, you don't think? Yeah, maybe Maki needed Kaito's help to kill Kokichi, but to clear Kaito of any involvement, she decided to be the murderer and take it on herself. And she did the killing, and Kokichi is actually dead, and Kaito's alive, or it's vice versa. I think that makes sense, but I can't tell which one. If this is awkward, Shuichi, I can leave and give you some privacy.
huh?
Yeah, but this is information that I didn't know, so I didn't have a fair chance to think this through as a possibility. I had no idea Kokichi was involved at all, but now that his clothes are found, I can think differently, so I don't think that's very fair to say. You're concerned about that? Now I know Kokichi's involved. It could either be Kokichi or it could be Kaito, just like it was from the beginning. Kibo and I washed our hands in the sink and left the bathroom. Still wouldn't explain why the witch was carrying the bag. Like I said, maybe it was used to, like, frame... But if Maki was planning on taking the fucking blame for herself and being the murderer, what would be the point of framing Himiko? I don't understand. I don't fucking get that. What was Himiko's involvement in this? I didn't want to go to the bathroom, I wanted to talk to the witch bitch. God damn it, dude. Fuck. This one has a lot of shit to think about, I'll give it that. I think the suspect is either Maki or Himiko, still. But I don't know who. You and Kibo both look more refreshed now. Refreshing each other in the boys' bathroom. Even now you can't help yourselves, huh?
That's true.
This is all Himiko's imagination, but I don't even want to touch that right now. The internet does. I did it. I taught Nightbud to plug for me. Dude, you could have just asked. It's really fucking simple shit. If you need help with any of the bot setup or like OBS or anything like that, I can figure that shit out for you and help you through it if you need to. Thank you for the biddies, dude. It's very kind of you, thank you. Maki, why is it so very easy for you to believe Kaito is dead? Because maybe she planned to kill Kokichi, but Kokichi knew she would try to kill him. And Kokichi had an antidote for the poisons. But he was still stabbed. And this is legit Kaito in the press. We can't talk to Maki. Wonder why that is. Yeah, we can't talk to Maki. Maki won't talk to us. Maki was definitely fucking involved, dude. I can say that much. She was definitely involved somehow. We must have to talk to Samugi.
Hey, it's almost time for the class trial to start, right? Was no one able to find Kokichi?
I wonder. I haven't heard from
I
anyone.
see.
I wonder where he went off to.
Did he disappear? He can't still be in the hangar. Or under there.
Could it be?
Shuichi, do you think the one who died was Kokichi?
Huh?
Seems like
I mean, your face says you want to think that.
it's
Can't
plain
rule it
to
out.
see.
But I think that's just plain impossible. Kokichi's been manipulating us all from the start. I can't believe someone like that could be killed by Kaito. Of course, I don't mean to compliment Kokichi or make fun of Kaito or anything.
I know, you're probably right. Samugi has a good point. I still don't have enough clues to conclude that Kokichi died. Yeah, we don't. But I'm certain that one of them must have. Yeah, one of them must have. Kokichi's disappearance has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. That was our last bit of evidence. My suspects are Himiko and Maki,
It's about that
but
time.
I think Kokichi, Kaito, Maki, and Himiko were all involved. Maybe Himeko is entirely innocent, and like I said, the black bag is just supposed to put you off.
That's right.
I'm gonna fuck up all the shit in the class trial, all the thinking I've done up until now, flush it out the window, get it out of your mind, because I will fuck it up in the trial.
Please proceed to the shrine of
And we're gonna see who it was. I
judgment
think it was
courtyard
Maki, I'm
and
not sure
enter the
though.
trial grounds.
Or maybe it was Kaito and he took the fall for Maki, but maybe all this info was left to make us think it was Maki. I'm going to do very terrible in the trial, dude. Honestly, like, I understand exactly how the game plays, but like I said, some of the shit is so vague, and you just don't know, like, okay, like, given Mew's trial, you know how the toilet paper was used? I figured out the toilet paper was the murder weapon super early on, but I jumped the gun in the trial. When they said, how did Mew die? I said the toilet paper, obviously. She was choked or suffocated with it. See, I thought it was stuffed into her mouth, and that made her suffocate in real life, but she was strangled with it. Right? Like, I was onto Kokichi from the very beginning of Trial 4. I knew it was him. I pieced everything together, everything made fucking perfect sense. And then I was wrong, because the game had to make a character with no character have character, right? But in the class trial, when it said, how did Mew die? Instead of saying, oh, the toilet paper killed her, you had to say the simulation itself, the game itself. And it's like, you can't skip steps. I basically compared it to making a sandwich. It's not even fucking plot twists. There are a lot of plot twists, but it's not even plot twists that fucks me up. It's it being very fucking vague and you having to go step by step. Because if you think about it, the way I figure shit out, and the thinking I've done up until now, puts me at a certain point of thinking in the investigation, right? So I don't think the investigation through from the very beginning, like you're supposed to. So I basically made an analogy that it's like teaching somebody how to make a sandwich. Everybody knows that it's common sense that you need at least 2 pieces of bread to make a sandwich, right? But somebody who doesn't know how to make a sandwich wouldn't know that. So you have to tell them step by step, you need 2 pieces of bread, you need to put whatever condiments and cheese and meat you want on your sandwich, and then you need to put the other piece of bread on the other side of the sandwich, and that's how you make a sandwich. But it's common knowledge on how to make a fucking sandwich, isn't it? So you wouldn't think you'd have to do that, right?
Everyone needs to be there.
So I'm going to fuck the trial up. No matter how bad I fuck the trial up, don't think I'm an idiot because I fucked the trial up. Because like I said, it's really vague sometimes, and all my good thinking comes during the investigating, as you can probably surmise. So when it comes to execution and cross-referencing shit in the trial, it's a lot more pressuring because I don't have time to think shit through, and I'm on a time limit, and I have health. So it's like,
Anyone who's absent will
the
be
trials in this game are sometimes really hard to get through. Jeremiah, the whole first trial, I had pretty much entirely right. Literally the entire thing, I was onto the right idea from the very beginning. I just didn't know about a certain mechanic. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't know I could select a specific person. So I fucked it up, and I failed the first trial. At the very end, in selecting the person who did it, I fucked it up, and I died in the first trial. The second trial, I didn't die in. I was right about who I thought it was. I had evidence to support it. I was like, yep, the person is smart enough to pull it off. Everything points to that person. They gave themselves a defense of, I wouldn't have been able to pull it off in this time frame, so it can't be me. And then I was like, yeah, but you could have set it up and then executed it during that 5-minute period. I think it was you still. And I was right? In Trial 3, I thought it was Himiko, and it wasn't Himiko, and it was actually more obvious than I thought, because I overthought it. But honestly, if you reflect back, Jeremiah, you've obviously played this before, haven't you? So if you think back on Trial 3, more evidence pointed to Himiko than the actual murderer. But my friends said I'm retarded for thinking Himiko was even involved, and I think that's not very fair, because he's beaten the game. He knows everybody who dies, he knows all the murderers, he knows how they happen. So he's comparing his knowledge of what he knows to my thinking process at the time being blind, which I don't think is fair. And he's like, oh, I played it blind too, I didn't think that at all. And I'm like, okay, well then you're probably not as smart as me, and you don't have as much of an IQ. I know it comes off dickish to say, but people with different IQ, like, thresholds will think differently, and more people will not think of certain possibilities, and they'll make a more direct conclusion, and sometimes that can be beneficial, or sometimes that can impede your thought process like it does me, and you'll overthink shit. Like I said, you just can't compare your point of thinking to somebody else's way of thinking. That's not fair to do. So you can't call anybody retarded for the way they think, because everybody thinks differently, right? And then Trial 4, I had absolutely right. I thought it was Kokichi's plotting from the beginning, but I didn't take into account how evil Kokichi is. I I completely fucking underestimated how fucking much of a little shit he is. And he basically thought about it, and he used somebody else to pull it off, to do it for him. Because that person was just stupid enough. So it's like, he still would have been the murderer, so I would have been correct had it not been for that one little fact. I would have been correct on that. So it's like, I don't feel like I got that one wrong at all. Like, I think everything I said pretty much fell into place, and I was right about a ton of shit. Everyone needs to be there. That means Kokichi or Kaito, whoever's alive, will be there. At the trial, we'll know who the victim is. At the trial, we'll know who the victim is. Okay, so we'll know whether this is Kaito or Kokichi, and I have a feeling it's going to be Kaito, and it's not Kokichi at all. And Kokichi is just going to show up in another set of clothes and pretend he has nothing to do with it, probably. Alright, let's go to the trial. Before the trial, I think we get to save it. Also, I'm glad I got Maki out of the way, dude. I think Kaito and Maki were both involved, and Himiko has nothing to do with it. But maybe Maki couldn't do the thing with the crossbow at the time. Maybe she couldn't bring it down herself, and maybe she needed Himiko to bring it there. Maybe that's what it is. And that's why Himiko is involved. Potentially. But I don't think Himiko had anything to do with it. I think it's Maki and Kaito working together to try and plot to kill Kokichi, but something went wrong, and Kaito ended up in the press. Maybe. Maybe? It's either Kokichi in the press or it's Kaito, but I think we can pretty much assume it's Kaito. And I think the game is just trying to make you think it was Kokichi. I know it has me save before the trial, but I'm going to save it myself with a solid save just in case. Like I said, don't think I'm an idiot in the trial because execution and the ideas, I'm probably going to get pissed off in the trial because I usually tend to. And it's just because I get confused in the trial when it comes down to the action part of it. But all the logic and all the thinking and cross-referencing evidence I do in the investigation, and I usually forget about in the trial. So, because I have to do the trial step by step and retrace my thinking, it's going to be really hard for me. So I'm just saying that now. So if I fail the trial, do not be surprised. I'm not going to be pissed off, because it doesn't matter how many times you fail the trial. It just fucks your ranking. So, it's like, I don't care about ranking. I don't give a shit, as long as I get through it. This isn't everyone, right? Kaito and Kokichi aren't here. I bet Kokichi is already there.
You bastard.
As the mastermind of the killing game, he's waiting for us to arrive.
No.
We don't know that yet. There's still a chance Kaito is
You wanna
alive.
die?
Cut it out. Do you want to die?
Well,
Maki, this is a battle between hope and despair. If I show any weakness like you are, then I know I'll lose to despair. Maki did it, dude. That supports it right there. Lose
You
to
don't
despair.
know?
6 of us will participate and 1 of us will die after this class trial. Then only 5 will be left. Only 5. Maki isn't considering Kokichi as a person, so she must be referring to herself. I think it's fucking Maki, dude. I think Maki is the fucking murderer, man. I really do. I think that supports it right there, that line of dialogue. Also, I'm level 69, boys. And girls. That's right, we're the only ones
that's
left.
obvious.
But we can't lose to despair. Even if we have no future, we need to win. That is the whole point of this class trial. I will defeat Kokichi no matter what I have to sacrifice. No matter what she has to sacrifice? Maybe she sacrificed Kaito to kill Kokichi? Like I originally thought? Are you sure about that, Maki? Is that what you call hope? I think it is Kaito in the press, dude. I think Kokichi's alive. I know that we can't lose to despair, but something is wrong. Something doesn't feel right. Wonder what Kaito would say at a time like this. What would he say to us if it was Kaito? Alright, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the stream and I'm going to restart it fucking immediately, so don't go anywhere unless you want to, or you need to. Put life stuff ahead of me always, because I'm just an idiot who plays video games. So, I'll be back in a minute, and the reason I do this is because I cannot find a good program to split up videos, and I do usually try to upload my playthroughs to YouTube after I'm done. So, in order to keep the video short to a watchable length, I'm going to split it up between investigation and trial. So I hope that makes sense, and I'll see you very, very soon. So I'm just going to stop stream so it stops the video, and I'm just going to start it right back up. So I'll see you in a minute.